Two legendary rivals. This is insane. Will face.
Let's get it. Free all my niggas that's locked in that system. Sitting on their ass, I'm just glad they not victims. RP tell Lord knows that I miss him. Then he took Kenny, man, that shit super petty. Young nigga, all I wanna do is chase steady. Young nigga going hard, I hope you niggas ready. I was down bad on my ass like a judge. Bitch come around, I don't get these bitches hugs. Got a little bitch, I can show you hoes love. Nigga talking shit, boy, I hope you got scarred. Fat, that's my man's here, hit a nigga up. And I ain't mention that he from the no love. Crazy ass youngins, and you know you fresh out right. How you get money, but you broke, get back. I ain't had shit, niggas weren't frontin' packs. Now I'm getting on, niggas wanna come relax. Gotta watch these demons, can't get stabbed in the back. Know a couple niggas I can rob in a second. But I can't do it till my loyalty aggressive. And I take charge, and I go hard for the cause. Bitch nigga, yeah, I want it all. Yeah, I want a ball. Boy, I was a John like wall. Products get solved with Glocks, Max, and ARs. You get shot in the heart. Crying over bitches, you retarded. Gotta get money, little nigga, gotta think a little smarter. Keep all my problems to me, take it like a G. But a nigga ain't GD. We don't respect no police. Niggas that speak, and these niggas always leech. We don't respect no police. Niggas that speak, and these niggas always leech. Would you fight over a bitch with another nigga? These niggas, they always switch, thought I was your homie, nigga. And people, they always wonder why I got trust issues. Yeah, why I got trust issues. Cause when you need them, the niggas not around. But when you make it, they the mains ones with their hands out. These bitches tell you that they love you, but quick to leave you out. Sometimes you gotta be out here late, you might not make it out. All viral actions is just what it is. Niggas say they wish you, but I know what it is. I've been rocking with G-Money for a minute. Most they solid, I be seeing what they is. See me in the stool and now they acting fake. They start sending love when you making moves. Gotta hold my blessings, coming soon. Smoking, meditating, doing what I do. Say they got it, but these niggas from they move. Adding profits, trying to stack them up. Addicted to money, this shit is not funny. You out of bounds if you tryna touch. Cool and smoking dope with my kinfolk. Your bitch giving top, man, that's good dental. Stretch a brick out just like a limo. You ain't in it for the money, then what you went for? Begging niggas and hoes, I cannot stand, bro. And I ride with my niggas, that's a bro code. And I can't change on them same niggas. And I maintain how young nigga living, so I gotta go dumb, nigga. Ain't no waiting, I've been pitching for a really long time now. Feeling like it's my time now. See money on the side of me, rolling up while I spaz out. Smoking OG on like my gas mouth. I want it all, I want a ball, I ain't false, eh? Niggas claiming that the up, I see I'm falling, yeah. And my city fucked up. Always gotta keep your head up, yeah, yeah. And my city fucked up. Always gotta keep your head up, yeah, yeah. Would you fight over a bitch with another nigga? These niggas, they always switch, thought I was your homie, nigga. And people, they always wonder why I got trust issues. Yeah, why I got trust issues. Cause when you need them, the niggas not around. But when you make it, they the mains ones with their hands out. These bitches tell you that they love you, but quick to leave you out. Sometimes you gotta be out here late, you might not make it out. I know what it is for real. Yeah, that's broski, man. Fake ass niggas. Yup. When you make a move, smoking, meditating, doing what I do.
Straight up, we got another one.
Why would you tell me that you need me if you never did? I started popping all these pills to make myself forget. Who already know they caught it? I'm counting all this money, fell in love with it. Ooh, I fell in love. When no bitch fell in love with these dogs. Feeling to the crib and I can't leave till it's enough. She tried to tell me that she couldn't leave, she fell in love. Ooh, she fell in love. When no nigga, she fell in love with these dogs. She tried to pass some more, I told her she poppin' out. And she say she high, she freaky, she tryna fuck. Ooh, I fell in love. love me if you never did. I been such a fat money trying to get quick. I been thinking about this money, man, I'm trying to get rich. I'm counting all this money, feeling love with it. Ooh, I fell in love, but not with no bitch, feeling love with these drops. Pull it to the crib and I can't leave till it's not. She tried to tell me that she couldn't leave, she fell in love. Ooh, she fell in love, but not with no niggas, she fell in love with these drops. She tried to find some more, I told her she poppin' up. And she said she high, she figured she tryna fall. Ooh, baby, if you leaving, but you coming back. He can't do you better, shawty, that's a fact. Have you seen a gentleman with a lot of rap? Just and try to live him better up and out of track. Got a rap by my side, they ain't taking me. Staying right by my side is the safest thing. Love is a drug, heard you like fucking with us. TLC don't want no girls, holla at me, girls up.
Straight up, we got another one.
I sound top tier.
The Reflection got that fire.
Hey, Gio got the bands, huh?
Ask a bitch about me, say I'm top tier. I know, hope I keep it pushing, I can stop here. Big bag on my lap, put this shit in gear. If it's that, I might have this shit on their career. Ask a bitch about me, say I'm top tier. I know, hope I keep it pushing, I can stop here. Big bag on my lap, put this shit in gear. If it's that, I might just have this shit on their career. For the hoes to play with, so it don't get wet, it get wet. If it's that, I might just put this shit in gear. This my year, why you here? You wasn't here before. You wasn't booked in the studio with me, I'm tripping, I'm dipping, so you gotta go. I'm wavy, you try to ride on flow, on baby. She wanna give me the throat, that pussy is squatter, I might need a boat. Put D in your daughter, yeah. Fucking the proper to go. Fuck her with the clothes on. Creaming, she getting that shit on my coat. Smoking exotic, can't have the best dope. This thrash for show, guarantee choke. I just learned to flex on what's the best revenge. Count up all the checks, ball hard, ESPN. And don't be discouraged, fell for it, fell again. Get back up and show them how you coming to the end. Ask a bitch about me, say I'm top tier. I know, hope I keep it pushing, I can stop here. Big bag on my lap, put this shit in gear. If it's that, I might have this shit on their career. Ask a bitch about me, say I'm top tier. I know, hope I keep it pushing, I can't stop here. Big bag on my lap, put this shit in gear. If it's that, I might just have this shit on their career. Fuck it, I don't wanna talk, I've been talking too much about time to put this in their ears. Gas and mediocrity for years, let's take it serious. Fuck all that shit you be talking about, you be talking about shit that I don't wanna hear. Cap, I'm feeding off of their fear. Rap, surpassing all of my peers. Not a sad boy, but I get sad. Got all my feelings, ain't got in my bag. How I cope, I hit the stove and pop some tasks. Why they mad? Top of the world, I got bitches calling me daddy like I'm dead. Wanna freak me, she too freaky. Wanna find out where I'm. I just learned to flex on them. What's the best revenge? Count up all the text, ball hard, ESPN. And don't be discouraged, fell for it, fell again. Get back up and show them how you coming to the end. Ask a bitch about me, say I'm top tier. I know, hope I keep it pushing, I can't stop here. Big bag on my lap, put this shit in gear. If it's that, I might have this shit on their career. Ask a bitch about me, say I'm top tier. I know, hope I keep it pushing, I can't stop here. Big bag on my lap, put this shit in gear. If it's that, I might have this shit on their career. Big things happening over here, we top tier. People wanna meet me, want new music they can hear. Cried a lot of blood and sweat, dried a lot of tears. I can travel anywhere, I won't bring souvenirs. Big things happening over here, we top tier. People wanna meet me, want new music they can hear. Cried a lot of blood, sweat, dried a lot of tears. I can travel anywhere, I won't bring souvenirs.
Ay, Richie Briggs. Shout out Links, man. Two G's. Hey, it would really suck if I came all this way to die. They tell me not to keep a chopper on my side when I ride, but some niggas want me dead in the city that I reside. 25 years young, nigga, I'm just living life. They want me so bad, they was scoping like a snipe. I'm chasing long money like the string that's on a kite. Hustle gang, all I knew in the hood was to survive. Let me paint a picture for you of my city when it's night, nigga. You got dope fiends walk around, they tryna sniff some. Hard-headed little niggas eager for attention. Bitches wanting babies by the thugs, they love to scam us. Drug dealers getting hit up right up on the corner. When you walk, don't walk alone. They looking for a come up. 3 niggas, 3 poles. You might as well surrender. I've been robbed before, that's just how the gang goes. Gotta take the losses on your way to get the goal. Your boy hot and I don't never plan on getting cold. This rap shit saved my life in the booth in my zone. Rogers Park, I shout that in every song. I want y'all to know, I can't forget my home. Yeah, I'm the king, all I smoking broccoli. Cross me, and you gon' have to meet the guillotine. Ooh, I talk to myself when I'm in the shadows. Jump in the pussy, no socks, go commando. Swing a little thick ass all around the bedroom. I love my baby, she's sweeter than some melons. Roll the wood up, it's a normal procedure. Smoke my lungs out before I pour me a liter.
We got big guns, they pack punch, they gon' do you dirty. Baby, see that I'm handsome, she cannot stop flirting. I'ma pull up, no backup, that's why he's so scary. We got big guns, they pack punch, they gon' do you dirty. Niggas talking but ain't active like they really want smoke. Pull up at that nigga crib, got 2 shots in his dome. Ain't no question, we just do it, turn his ass to a ghost. Pillow talking, ain't gon' shoot it, sending threats through a phone. I pop pills and I get swift, baby. It's what I like, Shirley Temple smoking cookies, baby. I'm taking flights, I remember eating noodles, baby. With eggs and rice, having dreams, they been loosened, baby. Can't sleep at night.
Hey, it would really suck if I came all this way to die. They tell me not to keep a chopper on my side when I ride, but some niggas want me dead in the city that I reside. 25 years young, nigga, I'm just living life. They want me so bad, they was scoping like a snipe. I'm chasing long money like the string that's on a kite. Hustle gang, all I knew in the hood was to survive. Let me paint a picture for you of my city when it's night, nigga. When it's night, nigga. Let me paint a picture for you of my city when it's night, nigga.
Feel like I'm just chasing light years. I know I'm right there, I know I'm right here. But one day I'ma be gone, so I'm grinding all night long. Put my heart up in a song. The world is heartless, that's why I'm there for all my people's hardships. Got them regardless. This world I'm changing won't be the same game. Cause I've been down before, haven't been the same man. All the way down. All the way down. I've been all the way down. All the way down. I've been all the way down. All the way down. I've been all the way down. All the way down, shot town. Word goes around, but nothing comes back around. My life never been safe and sound, but I'm safe and sound, till I'm world renowned. Younger men out of bound. Left the city, but it feels like I never left the town. I just left the loop, been chilling back in the hood with the truth. Do a podcast so people can get a scoop. What I know I'ma accomplish is just a simple truth. Believe in something worthy like yourself should be in your roots. I'm changing my family's fortune. Life a hard cookie like a stereotype. I'm trying to make a fortune and get the stereotype. All the way down. All the way down. I've been all the way down.
True to self-destruct so they can't take me. X back to back, feel like my mind is going crazy. Brought for a strap, but when I ride it ain't no safety. Waited for my ex and then she went and had a baby. Felt like the world was trying to play me. Prayed the Lord, he just saved me. It's gonna be okay, okay. Yeah, told her it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, okay, told her it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay. Lost my grandma, made me wanna go harder. Back in school, I used to try by with no scholar. Tryna make up lost time with my daughter. Weight of the world, I can't help my bad posture. I know I am to blame, you just give me a feeling I really can't explain. Lord knows I'm trying to change, but it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, okay. Yeah, told her it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, okay. Told her it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
On the beat, make it boom.
I got a cloud up in my room, car fast so it goes zoom. Sweep you like a broom, X on the beat, gon' make it boom, yeah. Fuck a hater, I don't kick it, not no skater. But yeah, I'm going up just like a fucking elevator. But I stay down, fuck who not around. No love lost, no love found. I'm too lit, yeah. Baby, I'm the shit, yeah. I got niggas that oppress the issue about me. I do shit and all these bitches wanna go and fucking copy. Ain't no hit and quit it. If I fuck him, he gon' fucking stalk me. I keep them sticks around me, bitch, like we was playing hockey. If you looking around, I got cash, pockets got cash. I still got cash in the bag. These niggas be on my ass, reaching the stash, make all these niggas back. I am 20, keep my eyeballs on fleek, and my lashes make these bitches mad every time I blink. Yo, nigga post a pic with me, he want the smoke behind me. If that little bitch mad, then tell that little bitch to come fight me. Yeah, this money ain't no prop money, bitch, we getting it. Had to level up, cause yeah, I had to get up. I got a cloud up in my room, car fast so it goes zoom. Sweep you like a broom, X on the beat, gon' make it boom, yeah. Fuck a hater, I don't kick it, not no skater. But yeah, I'm going up just like a fucking elevator. But I stay down, fuck who not around. No love lost, no love found. I'm too lit, yeah. Baby, I'm the shit, yeah. Pull up on the block and I'm like, who the fuck is him? Give me my drinks, they don't put shit around the rim. And the diamonds on me flexing like they came up out the gym. Yo, nigga really going since I got that shit on film. And I make him pay just to eat my pussy. These niggas love expensive dinners. He fuck with C cause he's a winner. You fucking on bosses but can't sit with us. I play the game correct. Step on hoes neck, don't open text without checks. I've been on point, take a guess. Since I was 12, wait, I mean 6, yeah. Shout out all the real niggas, get this off my chest. Ain't Sweep you like a broom, X on the beat, gon' make it boom, yeah. Fuck a hater, I don't kick it, not no skater. But yeah, I'm going up just like a fucking elevator. But I stay down, fuck who not around. No love lost, no love found. I'm too lit, yeah. Baby, I'm the shit, yeah. Lit, yeah. Baby, I'm the shit, yeah.
Airwaves. Welcome back, peoples. Oh, and let me transition into my first two hosts. To my very, very left, G-Money G-Note.
Yo.
To my kind of left, Mr. Dan the Man.
Hi, Mom.
BossDan.
Hi, Mom.
Daniel Westfield.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, moms.
Hi, all the moms out there. Not just our moms, every mom. What's
And
up?
myself, Mr. Justino Bandito, today with the ski mask. I couldn't find a comfier mask to wear, so I brought the half hat.
Ready to go hit a lick after this.
Yep, more or less, Dan.
Watch out, streets. BossDan hitting licks now, bro.
Mom, I don't hit licks.
I'm getting desperate.
That's a big.
It's all right. You can say. I can say that. She probably doesn't even
She
know.
probably.
What
I was
that
gonna say she probably don't even know what that means. That's how you know BossDan's been in Chicago too long already, using the lingo.
Yeah. Baby. What's up? Well, we're glad to be here on another edition of Northside Plugged. We got everyone in studio today. It's great. So good to have everyone back here. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, we appreciate you all. Make sure you follow us, like, and subscribe to everything we do. Just drop a comment. If you're on YouTube, drop a comment. We'll make sure to say what up. If you have any questions or want to add into the conversation, feel free to chime in. And as always, if you want to call into the Skype line, that is 312-985-7834. Again, that phone number is 312-985-7834.
Ring it.
Ring it.
Call it. Say what up. All right, so if you got on a little early today on today's show, we went live around 7 o'clock because my friend Money G Notes, he posted earlier talking how we want to feature more local music on our airwaves. So one of the cool things about being able to do YouTube Live and the radio is that we can go live on YouTube before we're technically live on the radio. So that gives us a good amount of buffer to actually play songs with naughty words in them. So we could play whatever songs we wanted in those 30 minutes before we technically go on the airwaves, because now we have to watch our language, of course, because the FCC will come and kill us if we don't. But so if you want to get your music featured, feel free to send us a DM at Northside Plugged. Send us an email, northsideplugged@gmail.com. If you want to get featured, let us know. We'll try to get you in. We love to feature local artists. I mean, we miss having people in the studio. We talk about it all the time that we can't wait to get guests back in here to chop it up with some people, because those are always the funnest days and the funnest nights is when we kind of get in good conversations with people.
Yeah.
So we want to keep that spirit alive and try to keep the ears flowing and keep people active and tuned in to what people in this beautiful city, Chicago, and farther beyond are making.
Exactly.
So so we had some of our we had some of people who we've already interviewed from a while ago. We had Rich the Pole, we had CCC BKE go on there. I think I heard. Who else did I hear?
G-Money G-Note.
I heard G-Money, of course.
Heard OG Denzo. You heard Cole from the Cole podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You heard Gold. So we got Cold and we got Gold.
Shout
out Gold. He just released a new project today. Just came out here. We also got Deadstock. We got Relic the Bully.
Shouts out Relic.
Got my young homie Lil Dago. He's up and coming. I'm telling you, that's gonna be the next star, bro.
Lil Dago.
You heard it here first on Northside Plug.
Yeah, we just played him. So
DJ Young Sock says happy 3 years Northside Plug.
Woo!
Thank you, DJ Young Socks. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, so it's actually wild. I didn't even realize that until G Money said something today. So it's been just over 3 years since we first started, and I still remember the first show. It was
like nothing, right?
It was a Tuesday. It was like I didn't even know what to expect. I didn't know what to do. I did a little bit at the WLUW. I did a couple shows there, but those shows were from 4 to 6 a.m. I was
he was working.
I was by myself. It was like completely different because I never did something like this with anyone.
Sure.
So that was man. Just a lot of things have changed in the past 3 years. It's crazy to see how far we've come during that time.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, we've come a long way, man. And just being in this space, like we can kind of dive through it, and I don't know, like I don't exactly know how to hit it, but just to generalize, it's a super blessing, man. It's just, like Dan said, it's just kind of like that first show is like we don't know what to expect, because this was all kind of just thrown upon us in a good way, thrown upon us, and it was like, do you want to do your own radio show? And it was like, hell yeah,
Hell yeah, dude.
So we got on that first show, and I remember Dan and I were already chopping it up before, trying to figure out how we want to come on. And shout out DJ Geo Jets, bro.
Geo, shouts out Geo Jets.
That's my dog, man. Really, go ahead.
Really helped us kind of jump and kind of pushed us in the right directions of like what we should do and how we should go about doing a show, and was our first producer because we didn't know what to do behind those boards.
We had no idea.
We just sat though in front of the mics and just talked our talk. We had no idea what to do. So shouts out to Geo if he's watching now. We really appreciate him and all he did to kind of help push Northside Plugged into what it is today. 100%. Kind of helped us kind of push ourselves to being independent and figuring out how to figure out these soundboards and kind of everything, because without him, I don't know if we would ever figured it out or things like that.
Yeah, bro. I like just to give Gio his flowers, man. Like, because I'll tell the quick story again. It's like I needed an internship, bro, to graduate from Loyola, and I was cutting it close, and I found the opportunity for marketing / like audio video intern for WGHC. And
we needed an internship to graduate business school, and this man waited till the last semester,
literally
of senior year.
A week and a half before the deadline.
I respect it though. He got it. He got it though.
Finesse. Literally on Facebook, I saw they were promoting. WGHC was promoting those opportunities. So I just applied because I was like, it's a shot in the dark. I need something, man. It's local. It was in Uptown. So I sent them an application, funny enough, through Facebook. Out of all places, it wasn't LinkedIn, it wasn't Indeed, it wasn't anything like that. It was literally Facebook, bro, and this was when I was working at the YMCA. So I remember literally the next day, I got an email from Gio while I was working with the kids. And I just remember that moment, bro. And it was like snowy and everything. And it was just like, at this time, I didn't know that we would be on like doing our own radio show, but I just knew like for myself, I was going to have an internship at a radio station, which I was like, damn, this is dope in itself, So I remember that first, I don't know if it was literally that first occurrence that I went to WGHC, or it was like the first couple times, and I was just chopping it up with Gio, we were just kind of getting to know each other, and next thing I knew, he had just offered me like, yo, do you want to do your own show? And at that moment I was like, hell yeah, man, like, why not? But I had no idea what to expect. I had never in my life did I ever think of doing something like that, but it literally at that moment, as soon as it was like, okay, this is gonna be something that's real, I was like, yo, I need BossDan a part of this, like literally that was the first thing that crossed my mind. I was like, I need BossDan a part of this.
What a no looking back situation, you know what I mean? Like it's just something that like kind of like you just kind of settled into, and then like just every single week since then, and just like literally, guys, at first the two of you, but like, I mean, where has this time gone? You know what I mean? Or like it doesn't. At times it feels like it's been so long, but at times it's just like, I don't know. It's just like it's always kind of. I don't know. It feels like it's always kind of supposed to have been, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, go ahead, Dan.
There's been some short periods of non-activity, of course, when we were transitioning from WGHC to Q4 radio, and of course the pandemic kind of hit, so we kind of had. There have been some brief stoppages, but we've always had this on our mind. It's always something that I always look forward to this every week.
Same.
It's one of the things I really look forward to, especially in this past few months since we've been back in studio here. It's been like the highlight of my weeks, and it kind of puts me on a better. It's like the thing I look forward to most.
Yeah.
Honestly. Shouts out Van. Hope you're all okay. We miss you too, Van. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you.
That's Vanessa.
We miss y'all too. Yeah.
Shout out Vanessa.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you for tuning in.
Yeah. No, shout out Vanessa 100%. She's been there since the jump, damn near.
She went to that OG, the WGHC. She was in there.
She was with ISO. They were one of the first guests.
Yeah. Our first guests were Denzo and Lay though. I still remember that.
Yep.
They were our first guests.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh wow, like we actually have people that like want to come in and talk. Like it like surprised me, but then the more people we had on, the more I realized that all these artists just want somewhere to like promote what they want to talk about, just like talk about their art and what they love to do.
Yeah.
And that's what we've really been trying to focus on, is just to keep bringing on people that we can, just to help them promote their art and kind of push their product and just tell us their story. Because there's no two stories that are alike. Everyone has their own story, and we love to just hear them tell their story and what they have to say. And this is a perfect platform for that, and we welcome all artists, and we'll always try to get as many as we can. And I'm so looking forward to the day that we can get people back in here, because it's gonna I don't know, it's just gonna feel a lot more normal. Because they're like, this is fun. Like, don't get me wrong, I love talking to you guys, but like, there's just a different feeling when we have other people coming in and like they want to jump into what we're talking about to start before we even like want to talk to them about their stuff. They like want to like hop in if we're talking like bowls or whatever's coming up. They always want us to have something to say, which is always a lot of fun.
It's like a crock pot, man. You just kind of like throw just a bunch of ingredients in, and you always come up with like just some random stew that most of the time is super delicious, man.
Yeah. And it's just so cool, man, because like, just to kind of keep going back to that first, when it was all starting, and I just remember envisioning this dude, and to be 3 years in, and to have had as many guests that we've had, you know, like people that I grew up with, and then eventually was starting to become like people I never even met, we never even met, you know, like all three of us were had different connections that we were able to bring over here, you know. And I just remember visualizing this and having to come with literally a vision and a mission statement for Geo. Like, yo, this is what I'm trying to do with the show, you know? I sent it to you, I showed you and everything, and it's just like, it's cool. I still have the piece of paper, and I sent it to these guys a few weeks back, but it's just like, to look at my notes and to literally be doing now what I was hoping that we could, like, I knew that we had the capabilities to execute, to have done all that and so much more in such a small amount of time, you know, is ridiculous, bro. Like, it's the amount of, I mean, we're not nearly where we want to be, but damn, we've done so much, man, and it's really cool, bro.
We can probably all agree that this is probably one of the biggest privileges that we have.
Oh, no doubt.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it feels so good to know that, like, there's nothing really stopping us from doing whatever we really want to do with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, despite the pandemic, despite really anything, you know what I mean? Like, we can gander and wiggle and adapt to it, but we know where it's just like, it's like the market, man. You know, you can take a big dip down, and like, you know, we lost the face-to-face interaction with our guests, but it's all gonna come back, and we gained the experience that we gained throughout the whole coronavirus as to like how we can gander and wiggle without it, you know?
Exactly.
And I feel like once we start implementing the norm as we anticipate with the rest of the world, there goes Chicago in the background. I feel like it's gonna be business as usual, and it's gonna be, I don't know, it's gonna be at like a new tier. Like, everybody's aware of what's going on, but like when things start getting back in the swing of things, it's like when the NBA resumed this time around. You know what I mean? Like, like there was like that little bit of time where people can speculate about it, but then I don't know, just drawing a little bit of analogy there.
I think definitely, man, in terms of this pandemic and how it's affected Northside Plugged, I think we've really been able to work on our game, you know?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
It's not having the luxury of having other guests come in, which sometimes can make it easier, you know? It's necessarily, we don't have to do as much when guests come in, because you know, if you got a super talkative person, a very lively person, they're gonna run the show, you know, and we're just here to kind of maneuver and guide it. When it's like when it's just us, we really have to keep each other accountable and keep the show moving, you know? And I think we've always had it, and over the years it's always been developing, and you know, we've been known each other, so the chemistry has always been there.
And I want to do shout outs to G Money. I'm sorry to interrupt. I want to do shout outs to G Money and Dan for being like, especially on like bull pointing and game planning every single episode. They've been extremely diligent about it, and without that, we wouldn't have been able to have that consistency that is required in order to be able to kind of survive on a consistency basis during these times. So shout outs to the two of y'all. Y'all really been the MVPs during this time.
No, that's much love, man.
Yeah, I think even over the past few months, like even in this shorter time, we've just been looking to see how we can improve each week from week to week, just to get this looking better and more professional and onto another level almost.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think that's what, and I'm seconding G Money's statement 100%, is that this time without guests has really allowed us to work on our own game, work on what we need to fix before. Because like maybe when we get guests in here, we'll have a whole different kind of mantra about how we handle the guests, how we intro them in, blah blah blah. Like we'll have all these kind of ideas, kind of thinking about. So it's been a crazy process. I mean, 3 years flies by. It's kind of wild. It's already been 3 years since we started this show.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to many shows, many years to come. Hopefully.
Yeah, man. That's just the beauty of it. This has been a whole, just like Justin said, just kind of happen type of thing, and it's been a blessing, and it's something that can never be taken for granted. And I 100% believe that it's something that was, I don't want to say meant to happen, but in the sense of like this Northside Plug almost reassured my faith in God, because I would say like I went to Catholic school, and it was per se driven into myself, over the years. I've never been a super religious person, but at the same time,
you take religion classes, they shove it down your throat.
So it is a part, but I would say like, especially in high school, like I didn't have any connection to the spiritual realm in any way, higher force, whatever, so it took getting back to college, kind of meeting you guys, finding for myself, like finding what I want to do with my life and whatever. But it was like when Northside Plug hit and all this started rolling, it was something basically from the get-go that was out of my control and just kind of happened. I was like, God's real. Some higher force is real. Buddha, Allah, whatever, they're real, man, because this Northside Plug isn't about any individual, man. Like, this isn't, like we all have our dreams and we all have our personal aspirations, but like when you come to Northside Plug, it's just like, whether it's guests, whether it's us, like you kind of just drop the ego, and it's like, this is an us place, it's not an I place. This is us. We're all trying to eat here,
Yeah.
And it's just a privilege to be able to be a part of that.
Yeah, and I think as we've had more guests on and more people and like talked to more people and just had so many different conversations on so many different levels about so many different things, that I think I kind of realized that more, that like radio and like talk shows not about the hosts. It's about the interactions with the people they bring on, or the people that come in to support the guests that are going to speak, or even speaking to people that like your friends or your family or people you don't know that might be like, hey, Northside Plug, like I know you guys, and you'll be like, oh wow, like thank you so much. It's just so much bigger. It like I keep reiterating what G says, because like I just like can't say it better myself, but like Northside Plugged is so much bigger than any one of us individually or the three of us together. It's all the people. It's everyone. It's everyone involved with this. Whether it's people like Q4, it's the guests, it's the posse that comes in with the guests. If it's friends, family, just anyone. It's like we're all just trying to be one big collective, and that's what we've been striving to be. It's just a growing collective.
Yeah, collective community. And it's just like, think about the room alone, and we all three of us come from different places, like we originate from different places, and to have all of those different, backgrounds, like not just us, but everybody that we know, and to all kind of have, like all of our people, maybe not everyone, but I would say more than not, all of our people know what we're doing every Thursday, and, or maybe want to see, check it out, or at least somewhat interested, may just ask you about it, whatever, and all of these different people that, whether we know them or don't know them, and they watch the show, or they've been on the show, or they like the show, whatever, like, your homies from Boston are connected to my homies in Chicago, and Justin's homies in Yorkville, like, and then everything outside of that, whatever. It's just like
everywhere in between.
It's really cool, like people that would never meet, or people that, and it's only going to grow, and there's so much more to happen that we don't know is even going to happen yet, but it's just really cool, man. It's a crazy dynamic that, like, we're building community, man. We're building a platform that people can come to and just share a piece of themselves. You know, we just share a piece of ourselves. So it's fun, man.
Yeah, it's always been a blast. I'm really looking forward to the future.
Speaking of blast,
there he is.
Did you guys see the footage of Mars, the rover Mars footage? Oh, to live in a time where we can see high definition footage of
I didn't
Mars,
even see, bro.
son.
That got me.
I was sitting there in bed, like just because I was watching the first thing that they showed was the reaction to the team landing, to the descent and then the landing, and then they released some like really grainy footage of it descending with like the cap on, and then a couple days later, because I mean from however millions of miles away that it takes for basically the footage to buffer, they slowly released more and more footage of it, and I was sitting there with my sister's girlfriend, and I were just sitting there in the morning, like drinking coffee, eating breakfast, just like waiting for this footage to well, first it was the United Arab Emirates who were orbiting Mars, and over the days they were just releasing more and more footage of it, and it's just so surreal to know that that's just out there and it exists. You know what I mean? We now have access to it. You know what I mean? We've known about it. We've maybe seen pictures of it in our textbooks, but to have like a link, you know what I mean? Finally, a link to the cosmos. You know what I mean? It's just something that it's a comfort to know, just like what Northside Plugged is possibly to other people. You know, with maybe just having our voices on in the background, just knowing that we're there might give some people comfort as to the little microcosm for our little corner of town. And the same goes for, I'm sure, a lot of of educators and intellectuals and people all over the world who find comfort in knowing that human, that the human race, that people, civilization can have that link to to space. Just what a motivator, what an inspiration. Yeah, that was something I was excited about.
When do you think we'll get people on Mars?
Oh wow, I don't. Once we see live, I'm just here for the ride. You know what I mean? I'm to watch someone experience that, to get live footage of someone on Mars. What a whole other new link to explore. I know Elon is extremely confident in his belief that we'll be making regular trips to and from Mars, and that's within our lifetime, boys.
That's crazy.
Lots of things that we're even gonna have to get used to as progressives of our generation. You know what I mean? Think about that. Just like how rapidly technology is gonna start advancing on an exponential standpoint, and just in the next couple of years. It's exciting, and it's probably gonna be a lot to process. But exciting nonetheless.
I would love to go to space. I've said it so many times. I don't care. I'm going to keep saying it until they put me on a spaceship. I hope Elon figures it out, because I will be on one of those first planes off this planet. I'm so curious about just getting into outer space and just see how actually insignificant this planet is in the bigger grand scheme of things. Because you always make the joke that there's the galaxy's so big, the minors thing is not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. But to be able to look down on the Earth and be able to kind of cover the whole planet with your hands, as you look outside the spaceship window, I don't know, I think that'd be really cool and kind of truly an eye-opening experience to kind of really see what it, I don't know, just in space in general, just is very interesting to me, just what that areas out there, how zero gravity just seems like such a cool idea. It's a cool thing.
I think at the very least, the whole concept of us touching base and this whole new era of space travel amongst all the new things that we're gonna experience as human beings is just a whole paradigm shift in and of itself. I don't know, it's exciting to be alive right now. Amongst all the humdrum and hoity-toity whatever that keeps a lot of us down, there's so much to be excited for right now.
It's an endless, big, crazy universe, man, and
We're hurtling through space right now. Listen to this jazz that Jay Dilla dished up for us. We're hurtling through space at thousands of miles per hour right now.
It's not
Around the
lying.
sun is burning hot, baby. We're just here to feel the heat and
Going
get some
super
suntan. You know what I
fast.
mean? The sun is burning in the middle of space right now, but I'm here to get a suntan.
All right, I got a question for you, Justino.
What's up?
If the sun is so hot, why is space cold?
Cause it's a vacuum, son.
See, that's the first legit answer I've gotten out of that question. I feel like I've heard that question be asked so many times. Everyone's just like, I don't know.
Did you know that you can get a tan in this weather? You can get a tan in like 0 degree weather. As long as you're getting direct sunlight, you can get a suntan.
I don't think anyone will be standing outside in their bathing suit that long.
I know
though.
a foreign exchange student named Elia down the street from me. He would lay out on the deck in the middle of winter to get a suntan.
I'm sorry, what was that name?
His name is Elia.
Elia.
E-L-I-A. Elia.
Yeah, sounds Eastern European as heck.
He's Italian.
Oh, he's European, so I was right on that front.
Si.
Man, it's not even that cold there. But props to him.
Right.
They'll do whatever they can to get their bronze on. I guess I respect the commitment to the tan lifestyle.
It's a glass half full type of anecdote, I guess.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. No, it's exciting, man. Who knows? Mars might just be the next step. You know, who knows? We go to Pluto or whatever. Like,
I'll finally be able to dunk.
I don't know about that.
Go on the moon. I'll be able.
Oh yeah, in space, that's a different story. Yeah, there ain't no gravity. Could be a 50-foot rim. Just slamming that mug, bro.
He's doing a 1080 as he jumps up to the rim, just like spinning around. Probably actually go much faster.
Props
than
to
that.
Tony Hawk for nailing another 720 at like 50 years old. Is he over 50?
Oh, he's definitely.
He's like 54 years old. Nailed a 720. That's insane.
Truly a legend in every sense of the word.
Age, son.
That's wild.
Wow. That is pretty crazy.
Truly
put into perspective.
The man made skateboarding cool, so props to the man.
Do you guys know what a 720 is? I mean,
yeah.
You can infer what a 720 would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, 52 years old. He'll be 53 in May.
It's crazy.
And he's still pulling out 600,
Shouts to him,
700,
man.
720s.
That's dope.
That's crazy.
That's super dope, man.
He'll skateboard until he can't.
You could see where like it's like a childlike obsession, but like you can see the experience in it. Like it was hard for him to get it, the tries that it took, and then he finally got it. You knew that like he was really like looking for it, and when he nailed it, you could feel the emotion in that moment when he hit it. But yeah, a lot of good stuff happening in the sports world.
There is a lot of stuff going to happen in the sports world. We have Zach LaVine, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. All-Stars, Jaylen and Zach
All
LaVine
first
being
time
first. Not Jason Tatum. He's second or third?
Second. This is second year.
Yeah.
Second time All-Star.
How you feeling, man? How you feeling about your All-Stars?
I feel good about them being on the team. I think they both deserve it. I don't feel as good about my team, but that's like a whole different story. We'll get into that later. But the All-Star rosters, I think they did a pretty good job of. I'm glad they were able to get Booker in there because I think he's been so underlooked his whole career, and it only took Anthony Davis to be hurt for him to actually get an All-Star nod. But it's still good that they fixed the league because there were some snubs that I was like a little curious about, but like that's what happens in such a talented league. You're always gonna have people that you can argue like they should have gotten it over this person, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean the West is tough, man.
The West is deep, especially at the guard position. Like it is deep.
You can't. I mean, it's like out of everybody there, you can't take anybody out.
Right.
You know, like, I wouldn't take anybody out. Maybe people might say, "Oh, Zion," but I wouldn't take Zion out, man. Zion's been hooping, bro.
Yeah, he's been dominating.
You know.
Yeah, like especially in the West is so much better. Oh, sorry. The West is so much better that like, and especially it's guard heavy because if you look at the guards, Damian Lillard, who arguably could have been a starter, Donovan Mitchell, who's on the best team in the league right now, Chris Paul, who's literally making the Suns a playoff contender, and Paul George is technically forward, but like having those three after Steph and who was Luka, like that. Those are the top five guards. There's so many guards that are good right behind them. Just like Devin Booker, Mike Conley, like has never gone to an All-Star game. The guy's been in the league 14 years.
Really?
Never been to an All-Star game.
That is insane to me. That is super
never
crazy.
been to an All-Star game.
Well, good for him.
I hope he gets there. But
all those years on the Grizzlies.
All those years on the Grizzlies never did him well. And like even like Shai Gilgeous was having a great year. It's just like it's amazing that like you can always argue like who got snubbed and what, but like at the end of the day, there's a reason that these guys were voted in.
Yeah.
And the reserves are voted by the coaches, I believe, or like it's like 25% fans and 75% coaches. So like they know what they're doing. They're not trying to snub anyone or like they're not going to pick absurdly bad picks. Like they're not idiots. They're NBA coaches. Like they watch the game night in and night out. Yeah. They're going to know who the best players are. So.
Yeah, I totally forgot about Trae Young being an all-star last year, man. They were talking about ESPN today. I was like, oh, yeah, he did. He isn't on it this year. Because my boy Zach LaVine took his spot, bro.
Hell yeah, Zach LaVine deserved it way more than I think.
Hooping, bro.
The man is hooping. The man is a walking bucket. Watching them play the Timberwolves the other night, and just like the way he just took over the game in the late fourth quarter and overtime. Just the way, and like the team believes in him too, which is even better. It just looks like such a completely different team than last year, and it's not that much different on a player depth standpoint. Like
we just got Patrick Williams and there was one other player, bro, and that's it.
Was Thaddeus Young a new addition this year?
No, this is the thing about Thaddeus Young, bro. I mean, Jim Boylan was trash, our coach, bro. We had Thaddeus Young on the team last year, but Thaddeus Young is playing completely different this year because he has Billy Donovan is basically allowing him to play how he plays, and Thaddeus, bro, Stacey King, shout out Stacey King, he'll be calling Thaddeus Young Thagic Johnson, bro. Thagic Johnson, bro, because he's literally he's throwing dimes, he's rebounding, he's scoring when need be. Like this man is getting buckets for the Bulls when we need it on that second, bro. Him, Thomas Satoransky, Otto Porter Jr. when he wasn't injured. I mean, our bench has been playing phenomenal. Garrett Temple, shout out to the Bulls, man. Like, thank you for making me look good and not foolish, man. It was Archie Diacono, man. You feel me?
Ryan Archie Diacono.
I mean, he just hustles, dude. He hustles. That guy, he gets on. He's like Caruso, bro. Like he gets on the floor. Not because he's the most talented, but because he'll get on the floor, for those loose balls. Like
the scrappy guy that'll get under
players.
them. Yeah, it's somehow these Villanova guards just always find their way into the league. I mean, you look at him, you look at Dante DiVincenzo. I mean, obviously Kyle Lowry, who's a multiple-time All-Star. Jalen Brunson's on the Mavs, still getting buckets.
Philly's tough, man. I'm telling you, Philly's tough, bro.
Can we talk about the Knicks a little bit though?
My boy Julius Randle getting a nomination.
That's a come up, man.
That's huge for him.
That's the team in general, man. Like
an eighth year veteran getting his first All-Star appearance. That's a good. That's what you love to see. Is like a guy who was drafted by the Lakers, was on some of the worst Lakers teams in Lakers history.
People were laughing about his ability to him being the best player on a team, and he stepped up.
Yeah, he stepped up big time, and kind of is weird to say that he's a veteran presence because I'll always look at Julius Randle as like a young guy who just kind of fits the power forward role. But on that Knicks team, him and Taj Gibson, who's still getting minutes.
Shout out Taj.
Shouts out Taj Gibson. They're like the veterans on that team leading the super. Like I feel like they're just the New York Knicks are just so young.
Taj and D Rose are back on the squad with each other.
And D Rose is on the Knicks too now. I forgot about that as well. They're just such a young squad that like your veterans are Julius Randle and
who is like one of the most.
Austin Rivers is like one of the most experienced guys on the roster. It's just hilarious.
I mean, Tom Thibodeau, man.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere he goes, they're at least competitive, dude.
Right.
The Minnesota Timberwolves, the only time they made the playoffs, Tom Thibodeau.
Right,
exactly.
And you know what? You could make the case that we could see the Knicks in an A seed or 7th or 8th seed.
I think they'll make the playoffs. I mean, it's gonna be tough down the line because you got Miami, you got Atlanta,
I feel
coming
like
behind.
with the fans coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's gonna be specifically a vibe in Madison Square Garden.
Oh yeah, definitely them and the Nets for sure.
And just like the thing about the Knicks is like they have such a Thibodeau's defensive scheme works with them, but like the way that they get their points, it is a little bit more traditional, but they have pieces that like are either extremely chiseled or like I mean, a player like Julius Randle. I didn't realize how like original of a player he was. Like this man is kind of his metrics and the way that he plays for the size that he is. Like he has that facilitation aspect like Nikola Jokic, but he's a lot more mobile and a lot more agile than Nikola Jokic, and he can impose himself onto a defense very, very easily, and he can get open looks to guys who can shoot. I always forget his name. The guy with the dread that go.
What team?
On the Knicks.
With the dreads on the Knicks. Alfred Payton?
No, he's not. Reggie Bullock. He's a shooter.
Oh yeah, that's the hair. That's the hair you're trying to describe right there. I don't know how to describe that hair either, so I don't blame you. But yeah, they're just
it's an interesting look.
It's an interesting team, just in general. Like it's just such a it's kind of an interesting group of characters. Like you have all these young guys, like you have the sophomore RJ Barrett. You have Kevin Knox and Mitchell Robinson, who are in their third
Kevin Knox
years.
has a high ceiling too. I feel like he's Michael. I feel like he could be Michael Porter Jr. light.
He could, yeah, and I agree that the ceiling on a lot of these guys on the Knicks is very high for all the young guys, at least. Obviously, like D Rose and Taj Gibson can't really get much better at their age, but like for all their young guys,
he'll get you 15 points in 25 minutes, 3 rebounds, 4 assists.
Yeah, and I mean they'll still be effective because they always have. I mean they're still on an NBA roster after 11 years in the league. Like clearly they're effective players. It just makes it's. I feel like there's. I just feel like there's so much optimism for the Knicks more than there has been in almost a decade. It feels like that there's so much optimism behind this team, and people can kind of feel it when they have like a good amount of talent that kind of makes them more confident about what they're doing on a night in, night out basis.
Anything to make Knicks fans feel a little bit better about themselves, right?
I mean, if
just a little bit better.
I mean, I always say, and I hate saying it, it's one of those things that makes me hate it. It's like when the Yankees are good, the baseball's doing well. Yeah. When the Cowboys are doing good, football's doing well. Like it's just like these huge, large market / like franchise, like face of the league kind of franchises that are in your bigger markets or just have like that kind of aura around them that just like have always been like classic basketball, because like the Knicks playing in Madison Square Garden have been there forever. They're just one of the key franchises that like if they're doing better, it probably is better for the league, because you look at guys, because just think about it in like the past like 10 years. Jeremy Lin, when he came up, like that was like a few weeks where no one could stop talking about that.
I was a Knicks fan at the time too, because Melo and Amari was on there, bro, so I was
those teams. And then like even when like Kristaps first came out on the Knicks, like everyone was like, oh my God, this guy's gonna be like the future of the NBA.
Yeah.
And then it's just like the way that those teams, like especially the stars on those teams, are always looked at through an extra, like a more magnified scope than a lot of the other teams, because they're in the Big Apple, like this concrete jungle. They're just looked at so closely that it's finally good that there's some optimism behind this team, especially in the near future, because there's so much young talent on the squad.
And I think too, with that point, I think this particular team is having a decent amount of success because they don't have any players they don't have a Kristaps Porzingis, they don't have they don't have a Carmelo Anthony. I think having a Julius Randle, I mean, obviously they're not gonna win a championship. Maybe their ceiling is they get to the second round. Like that's not gonna happen, but that's probably as far as they could go. But even the fact that they could do that with this team, I mean, they're just a low-key team, and there's no really egos on this team. You can't. Everybody's fighting for their spot. So with that, and then you have Tom Thibodeau, that's just the perfect nitty-gritty coach, and he's always going to be on defense. I mean, defense is always going to – if your focus is defense and in basketball, man, you're always going to give yourself a chance. Even if your offense is crap –
that's why Pop's always been relevant.
Defense wins championships, and
that's what they say.
That's why Tom Thibodeau's relevant, man. You can never count on a Tom Thibodeau team for sure. And excuse me, nobody thought the Knicks would be here.
People can't forget Tom Thibodeau has a ring.
True. True. He was an assistant.
Celtics.
He was. A lot of people say that a lot of people within like Celtics organization have said that he was a huge part of bringing those talents together and making that, because that defense on that 07-08 Celtics team was.
That defense was ridiculous.
That defense was so good, especially then that was led by Tibbs, and like that's what led to Tibbs getting head coaching jobs, was like people were seeing how successful they were on that end. So
that team was just so good, man. That's one of my favorite teams of all time.
What a team!
Bro.
I'm just so mad they didn't win
Any
more.
team with Kevin Garnett on it, man, is just scary. Like, I mean, to take a player like that and just build around it, that's why, man. Like, that's why I'm when it comes to like your Celtics, man, or when it comes to Jason Tatum and the longevity of your team surrounding Jason Tatum, I think you guys will be fine.
Yeah, I mean,
y'all got to do something, man.
Yeah. All right, so
those two players. I'm sorry, those two players you're gonna be good with. Everything else, I don't know.
Jason Tatum
Take
is
it away,
a player
BossDan.
you can build a team around. You
That's the problem. They don't got the team around them right now.
All right, so it's time to air my grievances about the Boston Celtics this year. So currently sitting at 15 and 17 in the 9
There it is. That was a bell ring.
We are in the 9th seed right now. We are 8th. Sorry, we're technically 8th in the Eastern Conference right now. The problem with this Celtics team, one, the obvious missing piece is Marcus Smart. I think without Marcus Smart, he's the longest tenured Celtic at his 7th season in the league. He's been on the Celtics the longest. Like, without him, we have no energy on the defensive end whatsoever.
He's the whole spark plug to the half of their team.
Yeah, he's a spark plug on defense, and like we were just saying, if you play good defense, it'll lead to good offense. And without Marcus Smart being a key distributor, and when Kemba Walker misses like half the games because he can't play back-to-back nights, we rely on Jason and Jalen to play so much isolation basketball that I feel like I'm watching a high school team just let their two like all-state players go for it, and everyone else just kind of runs around and tries to not get in their way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like when I was watching when they lost to the Pelicans the other night, being up 22, they were up like 24 in the third quarter, and
like 6 minutes left, dude.
They were up by like 24 with however much time it was left. There's just no fight and no energy in this team. And one of the biggest problems besides what I've already listed, and I said this way back when the season first started, was the bench scoring. There's just no bench scoring for us to rely on. That I don't feel confident in anyone coming off the bench and getting me a quick 3 buckets. Yeah. Like there's no one that I'm like seeing them coming off the bench and I'm like, all right, I know they'll provide us some good offense that'll keep us alive while Jalen and Jason or Kemba, if he's playing, are still on the bench. Like, like there's just no consistency with like how this team plays night in, night out, because at one point they looked really good, and I was like, dang, like, is this the team that finally gets over the hump? And then you look at them now, and you're like, dang, like, is this team even going to make the playoffs? Yeah. But I mean, I think the biggest factor, like I said, is Marcus Smart, and if he can once he gets back into the lineup and gets his groove going, he is the captain, the leader, the spark plug, the glue, the whatever other paraphrase you want to throw in here. He's what gets this team going, and without him, we look like a deer in headlights sometimes. Some nights.
I just feel like you guys don't have an identity at this moment. I think you Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown give you an identity to a certain extent, but as an overall team, I feel like there's a lot missing, man. It's like you got these two great pieces. Marcus Smart, he's exactly what you said. And then there's just this big gaping hole that's just
you got like a twin-headed dragon without a body.
Exactly. That's probably the best way to put it. I don't think there's any better way to put it.
It's like you look at the dragon heads and like you're scared of them, but then you look at the body and it looks like just like a stick figure, and you're just like, okay, like that's not that scary if they can't get after me. Yeah. And I'm like looking at the field goal attempts per game. Jason Tatum takes 21 shots a game. Jalen almost takes 20. Kemba takes 15. Marcus Smart takes 11, and that'll probably grow when he comes back. And then like everyone else takes less than 6 or less. Yeah. Like just like the amount I get, like I understand, like they're your all-stars. They're clearly the best players on the floor whenever they're out there most of the time. But it's a team sport. Like you need to have a well-rounded team if you want to succeed at the highest level. Right. And if those guys keep playing this isolation basketball where they don't get anyone involved ever, it seems like
they need a player like Jordan Clarkson. You know what I mean? Who can just come off the bench and put up eight threes and shoot 40% of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the worst part is like I think I know what the answer is, but I don't. Because I thought Jeff Teague was going to be a great answer, but clearly he's been.
He's too old.
He's
man.
so old. He's so old. He's not as quick as he used to be. He's tough to watch. Like Tristan's been doing fine, but then again, like he's old too. Like
exactly.
signed.
He's got to be your backup.
Like the 2 bench guys we signed are like so old and like way over the hill that I was like, they fill needs now and that's fine, but that's not going to answer the long-term problems that are on this team.
Yeah.
So, and and it's funny that I actually respect the Celtics because what I've been seeing on Twitter is that the owner, like, they haven't been hiding from from this recent scrutiny. They haven't hid like Brad Stevens went on his weekly talk show he does with a local radio station. Danny Ainge went on a radio station. Even the owner did like an interview. Like they're not hiding from the scrutiny. They're not hiding from it. They know that we suck. Like they admit it. Like a Brad Stevens quote, and I kid you not, this is what he said. Last week my wallet got stolen and my car got broken into, and those were probably 2 of the better days in the past week. Like even he knows that this team is just playing awful basketball right now. That especially with Boston fans behind them. They're not. When your team's doing bad, they're gonna let you know that you suck. Like they will straight up tell you you're awful. You should get out of this city. We only want champions. Blah, blah. Like for them to not hide and take like all the scrutiny, like and all the, I can't think of the right word I want to say, but just take it all without hiding behind anyone or anything and like going out and saying, yeah, I know we're struggling. It makes me feel better that they can address the situation, but as Danny Ainge always does, he says that we're involved with people, but we never do anything or we don't do the right thing.
Do you feel like their willingness to accept the scrutiny is indicative of moves before the trade deadline?
I sure hope they do something. I mean, and Danny Ainge is always a quick one to say, be like, oh, we were in on this guy. Oh, we called about this dude. But, like, who really knows if he actually did or how much those talks actually happened, if there was any true negotiation going on, if it was more just like, hey, nope, okay, thanks. Because, like, you never really know what goes on behind the scenes. But I just think I think the ownership, the GM, the coach, I think everyone knows that they need to add something. And, of course, I'm going to keep saying it, but when Marcus Smart comes back, this will be a different team. Bro. And it just sucks that we rely on this one guy so much because – I love Marcus Smart, don't get me wrong, but like a guy of his level shouldn't be killing us as much as it is. I don't know why, but I get it's because like his defensive presence is unbelievable and there's like just his leadership is so much needed, especially with a lot of the young guys we have. So
I feel like y'all got to finesse a way to get Andre Drummond, bro. I think Andre Drummond and the Celtics are like in need of each other, because I don't know, man. People are quick to write off Andre Drummond. I remember Justin said like maybe have him on the Bulls. I don't think he'd be a good fit on the Bulls, but I think you guys are desperate to get rebounds, man. You're desperate for size. And, for him to be in somewhere where it's like, okay, I'm with the Celtics, that's a high. You go to any team like that, whether it's the Celtics, the Warriors, the Bulls.
That has that level of pedigree.
You have to just to step up your game off bat right there. And, bro, he's a walking 2020. You feel me?
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's been coaches that have said, oh, like, he can get those numbers and still not impact the team. But I get that, but at the same time, it's all about situations, man, and he just hasn't been in the right situation for himself yet. Detroit, Cleveland, come on, man. These, trash teams, bro.
Trade. Do y'all still have, who has Enos Cantor?
He went back to the Trailblazers.
Y'all have Daniel Tice, right?
Yeah, so our centers are Daniel Tice.
Trade.
He's decent.
Trade Kemba and Tice for,
Tice.
This is up in the air for Lonzo and
nobody trading for Lonzo Ball.
And Zion. We'll take Zion too.
Pelicans are stuck.
So we have Tristan Thompson, who's 29. He's only 29. He seems so much older than that. We have Daniel Tice, who's 28. He seems younger than that. Right. And we have Robert Williams, who plays almost every game, just doesn't start. who's a great athlete. I think they should honestly throw him as starting because like
I like Robert
because he's an athlete. Like I get like playing Tristan and Daniel Tice because they're more consistent basketball players. Yeah. But Robert Williams,
I've seen him fly out of half court to block a shot.
The dude can jump out of the gym. Like we need some of that freak athleticism to kind of give this team like some energy to start a game. And if you saw him like block like 2 people or just the way he's able to jump over everyone and grab rebounds, like you got to give this kid some time, like a chance to prove himself as in a starting role because they play him every game. So why not just like have him start and just see what happens? Because Brad's been experimenting. He threw Javonte Green in one of these starting lineups. Like he's trying anything to get us going.
You know what I think happened, man? I think when you guys went to the Eastern Conference Finals and you went there without a Gordon Hayward, you went there without a Kyrie Irving, I think not you as the fans, obviously, but I think the front office of the Celtics got behind Jaylen Brown and they got behind Jason Tatum, rightfully so, because they saw, holy crap, these rookies basically, right, took LeBron James to seven games, right?
A rookie Tatum and a second-year Brown.
You know, so it's like you saw that and it was like, oh my goodness, we can. if this is just a taste. You know, if this is just a taste of what we can do, but then over the years, it hasn't translated. You know, I think what was it? The second year, Jason Tatum wasn't as strong.
Yeah, he had a sophomore slump.
He came back strong. He's come back really strong. Jaylen Brown is coming into his own this year, but it's just like you guys have just not been able to find that identity. I think that's the biggest thing because Kyrie threw it off. It's not against Kyrie. It's just it just didn't work with, you know.
It just wasn't a fit. I wish it was. A player like Kyrie Irving, you want that guy in your basketball team.
You know, I think it could have fit,
do
man.
Need a big.
You had Gordon Hayward. You had Gordon Hayward, but you guys couldn't pay him the money, you know, and it's just like
Gordon got put into a real tough situation because in his first game he had a season-ending injury that kind of brought him like that was just like threw the whole momentum of the Celtics team. Because I remember that first game. I actually wasn't watching. I was playing a softball game, but I remember before the game started, one of my friends was like, "Dude, Gordon Hayward's dead," and I was like, "What do you mean? Like they're playing basketball right now? How is he dead?" And someone showed me the replay on Twitter, and I was just like, I could just see any chances of our title hopes just crumble in that instant. Yeah. Because with that starting lineup, it was Kyrie, Jaylen, Jason, Gordon, and Al Horford. Shouts out to Big Al. Like that team, I was like, this is a team that can win like 60 games.
No doubt.
I was like, this team is so good. I don't know how we can lose. And then like, there's just always something to throw this team off, whether it's Kyrie missing the playoffs that year, or Gordon getting a season-ending injury, or the past couple of years, Kemba's having injury issues as well because he's not playing back-to-back games. Like, there's just so many things that are pushing the Celtics in wrong directions. And I say all this, and come May or June or wherever the playoffs are, they'll probably again be making noise in the playoffs. Yeah. But they just can't get over that hump that they've gone to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have gotten there multiple times. They just haven't gotten over that final hump to get into the finals yet. And I just hope that they get over that hump real soon because I can be patient, but the general Boston fan base is never patient at all with anyone if there's no success. And I feel that if they don't make some serious noise in the playoffs this year, which is sad. I'm truly sad about what I'm going to say. It might be the end of Brad Stevens in Boston.
Oh, a lot of people have been talking about that, man.
And it's easy to throw it on the coach. Like, it's so easy to throw it on that one person. And I don't necessarily think it's him. Jason Tatum came out and said there's nothing Brad's doing wrong. I think it's just the talent that they have is just not a good fit for what they want to do as a basketball team because now that I think, the more you say it and the more that I think about it, they truly do lack an identity as a team.
And as distraught as you are, man, go Bulls, baby! We at number 6. Come on, baby! You feel me?
But but I'd rather talk about them because they're making me happy. They make me happy when I watch them because they're so much more fun to watch.
They're a bunch of dogs.
Whenever I watch the Celtics, I just get frustrated. I'm like, why can't you do these things? And then I watch the Bulls, and I'm like, this team's a wagon.
I'm telling you, bro. Like these teams are flipping the script because I'm telling you, the Bulls have literally had your problem for the past 2-3 years.
So like anytime they get hit in the face with something that they've been like questioned on for the past couple of years, it's just like, okay, like we've been there, done that, and they're like they're so far beyond like worrying about that it's just like it's only the growth. It's only the growth. It's like, you know, the nooks and the crannies, whatever. But like, it's. I like it. I like the culture of the Bulls right now.
We got a fresh restart. We got a new coach, experienced coach, man. We got young players. We got Zach LaVine. I mean, Zach, bro, when we went to First Take, dude, I think I told you before, Zach LaVine was passing right by, and I dabbed him, and I told him, bro, I was like, bro, Chicago believes in you. And he was like, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. And I just wanted him to know that, yo, like, you got it. And this was literally like when he had just gotten snubbed from the All-Star last year.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah.
And it was just like that team last year could have made the playoffs, but we didn't have a good coach. And this is literally the same team. You know, this is the same team. It's just another year of growth. And I mean, Zach LaVine is literally carrying.
You see how they got Feliciano playing some minutes?
A little bit. My man's Luke Cornett, bro. He's
like,
hooping.
if you're on salary, like, we're getting you out there. You're getting some minutes, bro.
I mean, man. Shout out to Felicio, bro, because our teams the past few years have sucked, and he's been on every single crappy team, but he's always been solid, man. Like I'll be the first to trash any trash player on the Bulls, bro. I'll be the first person. But I gotta shout out Felicio, man, because he's just, you know, he's not gonna be that like, whoa, you feel me? He's gonna excuse my language, but I gotta say, like, he's gonna call some ass plays, bro. You feel me? But there's no other way of saying it. But other than that, man, like, I'm just excited about this team, bro, because we're finally buying into a system, and we're playing. Everybody's playing hard. We're playing defense. Our offense is taking a huge step. Zach LaVine is like 16 to 18 games in a row, 20 plus points, dude. You know, like 20 plus 25, over 30. Like, he is hooping, dude. Hooping. Patrick Williams, like, I'm just so excited about this team, bro. And like I've just been trying to tell people for so long, like, yo, this, like, we're not great, but we're coming. And just after having Gar Forman and after having John Paxson for so long as our front office, and like you were saying with that, your frustration with the Celtics, bro, just stagnancy and saying like, yo, we're gonna do this or we can do that, blah blah blah, but things never happen. It's frustrating, you know?
Super frustrating.
And it really starts at the top, man. And I think, like, with the Celtics, dude, like, I have faith with Danny Ainge, bro, because he's brought a championship already. He brought KG and Ray Allen. Now, he's kind of screwed up after that, you know, selling all them picks and yada yada, this and that. But, I mean, y'all got Jason Tatum, you got Jaylen Brown, you got great, you know, great assets. So I think you guys are going to be fine. You just got to retool a little bit, you know?
Yeah, it's going to get much better, I think, over the next few weeks. I think right now it's just like it's just a weird time for this team. And like once they're fully healthy, and maybe if they make the right deals at the deadline, like I said, I still have no idea what the right deal is. Like this team confuses me so much that I don't know what. I don't know of a single player or like maybe even two players that can come in and I can be confident that this team improves significally.
I'm gonna be honest.
It's just so it's very confusing.
Answer the question that you asked in the title, though. In a series best of 7, right as of right now.
Right now, like if suddenly tomorrow they started a 7-game series between the Bulls and the Celtics, I'd take the Bulls. The way the Bulls are playing, I'd take the Bulls, and I don't know. I think it'd be close, but
let me tell you this, bro, and especially as a Bulls fan, don't count out your Celtics, bro, because the Bulls. I mean, this is a different Celtics team, but I don't know, man. Like that.
A Bulls team who hasn't been in the playoffs in a couple years.
That's what I'm saying. Like I wouldn't completely write out the Celtics in that series.
Right.
I think
because they're more experienced in that front. Yeah, that's
I would
fair.
think right now, just if they're going into a playoff series and they're playing how they're playing, I think the Bulls would have stronger momentum. But I think the Bulls are still very young, and as great as Zach LaVine has been playing, and as great as our players have been playing overall, we've still had a lot of occurrences showing that, like, yo, like, we can mess up in crunch time, and like we've lost games in crunch time because of little mistakes. You know, we should be over 500, to be honest. So that's why I feel like in clutch time scenarios, and you have with the Celtics, you guys have experience, and I think that
And
might.
Brad Stevens.
You have Brad Stevens, and you have Jason Tatum in the clutch is scary, dude. I mean, just watching him against the Pelicans, bro. That shot, I think it was to send them to overtime.
The floater in the lane.
No,
to
it was
his
the
right?
shot. It was the shot
one before.
before.
Okay,
where
yeah,
his
yeah.
step back where he like dragged his foot, bro. That was ridiculous, dude.
The man's able to create so much space. It amazes me.
He had no balance. He was damn near falling, yet he still had the momentum to like pick himself up and just wet the shot like nothing. Yeah, man. I think you guys just need to. You guys have been doing. My point going back to when you played the Cavs. I think you guys have just been doing the same thing for way too long.
Not too much change, or it's kind of just had players step into different roles, or just like in the same spot, just like a different player.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Shout out Nick Eicher.
Shout out Nick Eicher.
What's up, baby?
That's the main. Man, I remember when this was going back to reminiscing on Northside Plugged.
Nick, call in.
Speaking of Nick, dude, I remember trying to get Nick on this show, man, because he was talking about he would share some like his like scientific facts and everything. I forgot exactly what, but it's within his field,
Right.
Yeah, man. Shout out Nick, bro. Like people don't know Nick Eicher a lot in terms of our viewers, but if you do, you know what it is. Like he's the fourth piece of this pod right here, man. Like
100%.
Shout out Pat, dude. Shout out Bob. Shout out Zach, man.
Shout out Bobby.
Shout out all the Loyola Floor 12 homies. Yeah, Zach wasn't Floor 12, but still, just gotta show love
To all our
the
blurs
homies.
out there.
Mhm.
Always.
And John Stars.
John Stars. Shout out John Stars, bro.
Shout
That's
out.
the man right there. Hell yeah, man. No, it's been good, dude. Any final basketball? Utah's looking good. Nets are looking good.
Utah's a wagon. They especially watching them play the Lakers. I believe it was last night.
Yeah, they dubbed it.
And to be fair, there's no Anthony Davis, but still,
Exactly, yeah.
But still,
It's a different
they're
story.
a unit.
Yeah.
The way they play so unselfish basketball, like Quinn Snyder just has this team on a roll right now, and it's hard to pick against them in like any series, honestly, because like the way they play as a team, both offensively and defensively, sharing the basketball, getting other guys involved. It's a lot of fun to watch, especially when they can beat a
Nick,
team like
the number
like
is
the Jazz.
312-985-7834.
Yeah.
I'll have Big Dan throw it in the chat.
Yeah, I think, yeah, man. I think the Jazz, as great as they're playing, man, I think they'll probably come out of the regular season with the best. I still think, you get a healthy Lakers, you get a healthy Clippers, dude. Those are gonna be your favorites, man. Because shout out, I mean, Donovan Mitchell, man. Like, especially after Shaq called him out and people were getting booty hurt over that. I'm like, man. If you're getting booty hurt over what Shaq said, you obviously don't understand basketball. Shaq was just trying to motivate Donovan Mitchell, and that's exactly what he did, bro.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That was such an awkward conversation. He was just like, some people like me might just say you're trash. What do you say to that? And he just like, okay.
But
like,
it's smart.
But it's smart. It's smart. Shaq knows what he's doing. That's why he said it. Because Shaq's not an idiot.
Yeah.
The man has any endorsement deal he's ever been thrown at him. The man is not an idiot. So he's going to say something to push. He is a doctor. He is a doctor. He does have his doctorate.
I told my mom that she didn't believe me.
He's a man. He knows how to motivate guys the right way because he's a longtime veteran and he knows where to push the right buttons, and he pushed the right buttons for Donovan because the Jazz are streaking red hot right now, almost too hot to touch.
I think I've said it before on the show, but I just think with everything that the Jazz as a unit that this team has been through, especially with the whole coronavirus situation, I think they went through a lot, not just basketball, just in general. They, especially like your two stars, Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, they had to rekindle their relationship. Rudy Gobert damn near could have been traded, or they could have not re-signed him. Just because of everything that happened. So for their success to be what it is, I think really is a testament of like strong team camaraderie and like really building chemistry. Because Jordan Clarkson, like you've got Joe Ingles, Bogdan, something like that. Boyan, yeah. Like, you've got all these great, like, young players, man, and it's just, like, they're going to have a great regular season, but same thing as I was, like, kind of worried about with the Bulls. It's like, once you get to the playoffs, it's a different game, man, and you face you look at the Denver Nuggets the past couple of years. They've been a great team. The Milwaukee Bucks, great team. But once you hit the playoffs, and once you run into LeBron, it's a different story.
That dang LeBron James
You know?
and his continuous winning in the playoffs. Dang you, LeBron!
You run into KD, you run into Steph, man. It's a different story, you know? And experience and defense, it makes all the difference in the world in the playoffs. And
Man, having KD, Kyrie, Steph, all these guys back for like in the playoff picture is going to be so good when we finally get to that time. It's going to be so good to see all these superstars back in the playoff picture and contributing to, phenomenal games. I'm very excited for that. I mean, we're not even at the All-Star break yet, but I'm very much looking forward to those playoffs for sure.
I mean, this has been the most competitive NBA season in a long time. You look at both the East and the West, it's not been this close in a long time.
We were talking about it earlier, but it's just so wild to me how different the two leagues are. Like, the Dallas Mavericks are 15-15, 500. They sit as the 9 seed right now. And then in the East, you have the Pacers, who are 15-15, sitting at 500, are the 4 seed.
Yeah.
It's just like the levels of skill are just like the way that some of these teams are built so much better than the East. And it's funny because for a while it was the Eastern Conference. No, it's always actually now it's always the Western Conference has always been better. What am I talking about?
The East, like it'll have a year or you know, like
a couple of years where they might like prove to be a little better than the West, but usually it's the West because the East is always like there's these like 3 or 4 teams at the top that you're gonna probably, and then everyone else is just god awful.
Yeah.
So,
because I mean, you have all these like newer teams. You know, you got Charlotte and Cleveland's not that new, but I mean Orlando, Miami. You know, it's like you got all these. I don't know, man. Like, I don't really know what it is, to be honest.
It is hard to explain, but it's just like always that way.
I think maybe weather is probably a part of it. You got a lot more like warmer on the West than on the East. I don't know. I mean, because you got the Bulls. I mean, the Nets have only been relevant the past couple of years. You know, like the most relevant, I would say, Eastern teams overall, Bulls, Celtics, kind of the Knicks.
Kind of the Raptors because they won.
They've come up. Yeah, the Raptors have come up. They were irrelevant.
But like
Sixers.
consistently relevant teams.
Yeah.
I like the Cavs. As soon as LeBron left, like they just like fell right back off the wagon. So yeah, it's just so weird how the Eastern teams are so much different, so much different in terms of how they operate on both sides, both on the court, off the court, whatever. Just like it amazes me how the same league split down the middle in the country can be so different the way the teams handle it based on East Coast and West Coast.
Yeah, 100%, man. Well, do we have any other NBA topics?
No. No, I got out all my grievances about the Celtics. I'm feeling much better now. I'm feeling much better after saying all that. Saying all I needed to say.
It's good to release. That's why we're here. we're releasing all of our grievances.
Energy.
On Northside Plugged.
Releasing all that bad energy.
Bad energy. You know. So it's exciting. The All-Star game will be March 7th. So next Sunday.
A week from Sunday, yes.
Nice.
Everything is going to be on that one day. So that'll be interesting and different. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm gonna miss the weekend. We got a color.
Welcome to Northside Plugged.
Yo.
How goes it, Mr. Nick Eicher?
Oh, it goes well. I make no promises of the call quality with this international.
You sound perfect
business,
over there in
but
Japan, brother.
Fuck yes.
Oh, language.
Oh, watch your profanity.
FCC. That's gonna cost you some yen, bro.
Right. Radio show. Forgot.
That's gonna cost you some yen, Nick.
Heck yes.
So for those of you who are not familiar, Nick Eicher is a fellow Loyola Rambler, of course. He graduated with us back in 2018. Was on the same floor as us that freshman year. That's where we got to meet all of the guys that we were just talking about. And currently, our friend Nick is in Japan teaching English to elementary school kids. So that's where he's at right now. How's the weather out there?
Adorable. It's actually pretty rainy today, kind of miserable. But yesterday was really nice.
Bro, I've been dying to ask you this, dude. Because Nick, I haven't talked to you in a minute. It's been a long time. I'm really happy to hear from you, dude.
Yeah, no, it's been a long time since I talked to you.
Yeah, how you? You been well, man? Overall, everything's been good for you.
I ain't coming back, bro.
Hey, I don't blame. Hey, no, continue.
I said, like, I see all the news and all that stuff. I'm like, nope, I'm plopping my butt right over here.
And that's just what I think is so fascinating, dude. It's just like, you have not been here to experience anything that we've experienced in the past year and a half or whatever, you know. And it's insane, you know. I'm just curious, dude. Like, how's your pandemic been over there in Japan, bro? How's just overall?
It's spiked up again about a month or two ago, so they kind of instituted like no restaurants or bars are allowed open past 8. And, you know, everyone wears masks over here anyway, so that's not really been a big... It's like the contrast between America, or like the West in general, and over here about the whole mask thing is really just funny to watch.
How so?
Like, you know, in America, it's like, my freedom, I'm not going to wear the mask, no. Like, you know, over here, when there isn't even a pandemic, like, if you're sick or feeling under the weather, you wear the mask.
Yeah.
Just because it's considerate to other people. It's just funny.
Well, man, I mean, I think just people, I've never been in Japan, I've never been to the East, man, but I think overall, like, you're just going to have more consideration over there just because of how the culture is, man, and it's just, everything...
it's very about that.
Yeah, everything over here, bro, has just truly exposed how much people on this side of the world just don't give a crap about the next person, dude. And shout out to capitalism, dude. You know,
it ain't perfect, but it's the best we got.
Exactly, man. I mean, you know, we've been doing our thing out here, of course, you know, but we super miss you, dude. It's not the same out here, man.
It's like, if Corona didn't exist, I was planning to come back for like Christmas and stuff, for like, because I had a long winter holiday. But you know, if I left, I wouldn't be able to come back. So I've just been cooling out here.
You're honestly
weird,
better
off
over there.
On like, what?
You're honestly better off over there right now, dude.
Yeah.
I'm saying, man. Hey, whenever I talk to people, I try to recruit people. Hey, come out here, bro.
Yeah.
Come and live out here. It's pretty cool.
Once we find ourselves financially free, we'll take a little trippy trip over to Nicholas.
Oh, please. It's pretty cool out here. Cherry blossom season starts in about a week or two, so that'll be nice. Very pretty.
We'll live your best life. We will live vicariously through you. We will receive our daily Nick Iker energies. It's easy to conjure, but it's not the same without you, man. We love you always.
Yeah, man, I miss you guys.
You have any good stories from the kids about trying to teach them English or speaking Japanese with them? Like any good stories about the children with the children?
Oh, let's see. Well, about the teachers, they all know Chicago Bulls, which is really funny. Because you guys were just talking about them. Yeah, because they're all kind of like in their 30s and 40s, and so they were like, you know, younger when the Bulls were like at their peak and all that stuff, and so it's just really funny to hear them talk. Oh, like Michael Jordan. I'm like, yeah, man, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, MJ.
You gotta be like, yo, I was there for the glory years. I was watching all the games.
Yeah, a front row seat. I saw all of it. Oh man, what? Man, the kids are funny. I definitely have a dumb school and a smart school. That's definitely for sure.
I can imagine a class of 30 or 40 people just saying, "Oh Christ." That's one of Nick's signature catchphrases.
They keep trying to get me to say chin chin, which is like Japanese slang for like wiener, or like kiki, essentially. So they get like, come on, say chin chin. I'm like, I'm not gonna say it, even though I do find it just as funny, but I need to set a good example.
I love it. So how old are the kids?
Trust me, kid.
So how old are the kids that you're teaching again?
I have first grade through sixth grade that I teach. So the oldest are like 12.
Same here, Nick. I do first through fifth.
Oh, here's a good story. So this is good. It was a first grader. They asked me how old I was. They're like in Japanese, like "Nansai." I'm like, "Oh, I'm 25." I answered in Japanese, and they just look at me and they go "Waka," which is like means young. Like young. You're 6. You're young. Calling me young. Get out of here. It's like 3 times your age.
Those kids are super mature, huh?
You'd think.
Yeah, kids are kids.
Oh,
man.
actually,
Anywhere you
what's
go.
strange is like I expected the discipline system here to be like in the schools to be pretty pretty strict, all things considered, but like stricter than like American schools. But honestly, I mean, I don't really remember elementary school, but it seems like the kids just kind of run amok out here and just kind of do whatever. I'm like, man, I've had to yell at a couple of the second grade classes a few times because they just wouldn't shut up. So I'm like,
Kids
oh
are
my
kids,
God.
man. Anywhere, whether it's on Earth, whether it's on Mars, bro, kids are gonna be running amok, dude. Justin's living it right now, man. I've experienced it myself plenty of times, dude. Like, kids are crazy, dude. But
bro, they have so much energy, man.
Yeah.
So, they run everywhere. No one walks. No one walks in this school. They're just sprinting. I'm like, man, how? Like, I hate walking places. How do you guys have the energy to just run all over the place?
But let me tell you, man, and this is for Justin too. What you're doing right now is gonna be one of the best jobs that you ever work in your lifetime, for sure. It's always gonna be something that sticks with you, and those kids are, you may never see those kids again after your time of what you're doing, but those kids are always gonna be sticking with you, man. Like I was thinking about some of my kids earlier that I really miss, and it's just like you build a bond and you just grow with them, and it teaches. You get a different perspective on life, man. You see how kids are, but how human they really are too, and just it's just so fascinating, man. And I'm really happy for you, dude.
Thanks, man. Like I'm moving to Osaka in March because I got a new job as a kindergarten teacher.
Nice.
And but like the 6th graders at one of my schools, they're like, "Oh, are you going to be here next year?" Because the middle school is right next to the elementary school, and so they wanted to like stop by and say hi on their way to class. Like, no, I'm sorry, I'm going to be somewhere else, but I'll miss you guys.
Yeah.
So you're moving to? Did you say you're moving to kindergarten?
Oh yeah, I had my what?
You're moving to kindergarten? You're gonna teach kindergarten next year?
Yeah, I'm doing I'm teaching kindergarten next year. I got a new gig. Pays
That's
like
gonna be
$500 more a
crazy.
month. So
Love it.
You ain't gonna have no energy, bro. Talking about I don't got no energy. You ain't gonna have no energy with them kindergartners,
man,
bro.
like,
They're gonna drive you crazy, dude. But they're a blast, dude. They're a blast.
Yeah, they're so cute.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Those kindergartners are adorable, dude. Shout out my homie, my little homie. He's older now, but shout out my little homie, Sweaty, dude. It was this little boy at the High Ridge YMCA at summer camp, dude. And this was during the summer, and it was like super hot. And I'm talking about this kid would always be drenched in sweat, like looking like he just got back from the water park. Drenched. So I started calling him Sweaty. I'd be like, "Yo, Sweaty, what's up, little man?" And he loved it, bro. He'd be like, "Yo, what's up, Garrett?" Man, it's just those interactions, those small interactions that you have with those kids. I'm sure you have plenty of experiences, dude. It's just it's awesome, man.
Oh, here's one for you. I had appendicitis. That was fun.
Oh yeah, he was texting me a little bit about this. So you didn't have to. It didn't burst, right?
Yeah,
It just.
No, I didn't burst. It just got infected and swelled up. Swelled up. It was big.
It was big.
I teach English, and so I was like coming home from Osaka on Sunday, and I just felt like it felt like kind of like food poisoning.
Yeah.
Like that kind of tightness and just like unpleasant feeling in the gut, and I was like, oh great. So I was just gonna go home to see if I just needed to throw up or poop it out. And after 2.5 hours, it just didn't go away. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like called the ambulance, and off I went, and I got released Wednesday afternoon. Now guess how much it cost?
Not
the
a
whole
lot.
thing. Full shebang.
$7. 7 yen.
I was there. I wish it was $7. I'm not that lucky. It was because I was there ambulance ride, and I was there and a CT scan, IVs obviously, and meals. I was there from Sunday night till Wednesday afternoon. Whole shebang cost $630.
Wow. That's it?
I know.
In America, they charge you
since
$1
I make
grand for the
no money,
CT
I
scan.
can apply. What?
I said in America, they charge you $1 grand for the CT scan or the ambulance alone.
Yep. I was like, no, sir. And since I make no money, I can apply for like even more reduction. So I actually might be able to have that for like $300.
Oh, nice.
That's
Like,
amazing.
man, I could afford to have appendicitis every year. That's great.
I think, bro. I think it's
and
just
for that reason alone, I'm not coming back to America.
Yeah. Hey, it's on some.
Final answer.
Seriously, man, I don't blame you, dude. Even so, man, like that's compared to here, like that's a steal. But even so, man, I don't know, bro. Like obviously, money makes the world go around. But I think it's just such a crazy concept that we have to even pay a cent out of our pocket just because you're in a life or death situation. It is what it is, I'm not.
Yeah, no,
I'm not saying this, but it's just it sucks, dude. But I'm glad you're okay, man. That's the main thing.
Yeah, thank you. Like I'm glad of all the places it could have happened. Like, thankfully, I wasn't in China or something. I woke up and still had my kidneys, so like that's nice.
They would have been selling pieces of Nick all over the black market, bro.
We'd be looking for Nick right now. Anybody seen Nick?
Yeah, I know.
Get one of Nick's toes in the mail. Got to clone Nick now, bro.
We gotta bust him out. Buddy cop movie. Here we go.
Yeah, man. What would you say, dude? Like, how do you feel just through your personal growth within the past year, and having not been in your comfort zone? How would you say you've evolved? If there's anything that you can pinpoint about yourself.
A lot more like willing to sit down and do the nitty gritty of life, which isn't like which isn't fun, like budgeting, all that stuff, sitting down budgeting, and like all the like moving paperwork, apartment paperwork. I have to register at a new city office, like just the beat down of being an adult.
Yeah.
And especially like that stuff's a pain in the butt, like when you can speak the language, and it's a lot more of a challenge when you can't really speak the language. So like just working through and the Japanese, they love their bureaucracy. So it's like, get a form, now sit over here, and I get another form, and now sit over here. They love that stuff.
Yeah.
So just kind of adapting to being a young adult out of the house, but doing it in a completely different language has been a great growth experience, I would say.
Well, man, I think if there's anybody that can do what you're doing, it's you, man. Because from 100%, dude. And I've told you this personally, bro. But like from the early days that I've met you, dude, like I've always just really admired and just this is the person that you are, bro. Like you're the type of person when there's something that comes to your head, dude, and you want to do it, you get it done. That's just always been you from the time that I've known you, bro. You may not agree 100%, whatever,
that.
but just your growth has always inspired me, dude, because there'd be things that you'd be like, man, I gotta work this, I gotta better this, or blah blah blah, and you've just always done it, man. And to take the step that you've taken the past year and going to Japan and making a life for yourself and forcing yourself to grow, that's the most Nick thing ever, bro. And
I appreciate it.
You're
if
doing
I do
it, man.
It's usually 110%.
And you're a rare breed, bro. That's you always got my respect for that, dude.
Nick,
Yeah, thanks, guys. I miss y'all a bunch.
We miss you too, brother. We miss you too. All right, I'm gonna ask you a two-part question here. So, no, this is nothing. It's nothing serious. It's nothing serious. Trust me. What's one thing from American culture you really miss and wish was over there in Japan? And then on the other side of that, what's one thing from that you've experienced in Japanese culture that you think would significantly make life in America like so much better?
That's a great question.
All right, so something from America is definitely like American, like I want an American burger. Like not talking a McDonald's burger. I'm not talking like a chain burger. I want to like sit down at like Portillo's, bro.
Like some Angus burger.
Portillo's beef. Oh my God. I miss that. Like, dude, they have McDonald's out here. It's McDonald's. It's the same pretty much everywhere.
Right.
But like, I want a nice big juicy stacked up burger. Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
One that you have to cut in half with a knife.
And
to
what
eat.
else? Yes. Oh my god, with like an egg on top too. Oh, my lord.
I'm getting hungry just listening to you.
I think we're gonna go get burgers after this, Nick.
Yeah. And then from Japanese, probably the customer service. Customer service is absolute paramount here. Oh, how about no tipping? That's huge. Oh my god.
There's no so there's no tipping because they just like get paid a normal wage basically.
Yeah, no tipping. Yeah.
It's kind of an American thing.
I mean, it's not great, but it's a livable wage, so it's awesome. So you can just go out and you just save an extra 15-20% just by just not needing to tip. So you're just out and about and you can stay out longer and all that. Also, there's a lot more karaoke places here, which is pretty fun.
Love that. Love good karaoke.
Make me want to go watch anime.
Have you broken out any good American classic music when you go to these karaoke bars? Like, do you get some good, like Leonard Skinner or some Sweet Home Alabama?
I did some Aerosmith.
Hell yeah.
I did what is it? Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Oh, this is good. I was at this was like before state of emergency happened again. I was just kind of wandering the train station area
on that whiskey
Friday night, and we just walked into this random bar called Freedom Bar. Because I mean, come on, why not? And just go in there. There's a couple of people all singing karaoke, and they give me the mic, and they're like, "Pick the song," and it was "I Got a Feeling" by the Black Eyed Peas.
That's awesome.
just really peculiar. I did not expect that at all. Like, wow, I haven't thought about this song in a long time.
Tonight's the night.
I'm just picturing Nick
Let's
up
live
there.
it up.
Mazel tov.
So was it an American bar or was it just like called the Freedom Bar?
It was just called the Freedom Bar. Like there's they like in the English textbooks, when they say they teach like the term is like let's da-da-da, like let's do blank, like let's enjoy tennis. Like no one says that because it sounds weird. It's like, oh, do you like tennis? Let's play tennis. Yes, let's is like the format that they teach, and it just sounds unnatural. But it's really funny because I was like walking in the mall today, and I walked past like a little miniature ping pong set. It's like, let's enjoy ping pong. I was like, yeah, let's enjoy ping pong. Peculiar. I also got a extendable pointer, which I'm very thrilled to start using when I go back to work on Monday.
Are you introducing the kids to any good American literature? Anything?
Oh, I wish I could. They can hardly understand me as it is. I made them. I showed them the 1930s Grinch cartoon around Christmas time.
That's dope.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's nice.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that was really fun. They couldn't understand a word, but they enjoyed like all the Dr. Seuss style, like characters and all that stuff. That was fun.
That's awesome.
That's crazy, man.
They're cute. I have a lot of very little, like just pointless talents. Like I can move my ears, move my nose, and just do some weird, like simple magic tricks, and that gets me a lot of mileage out here.
Can imagine, man. You're hard to miss, bro.
Oh, bro. Dude, I'm out in the sticks too, like where I live, and so there's like no foreigners out here, and so people will rubberneck as they drive past me. It's really funny. They'll just like just stare out the window and just look at me. I'm like, hey, what's up, guys?
You're probably I mean, you're already a fascinating person as it is, bro. So you've got to be just like fascinating to them, dude. just the way that you move and your mannerisms, bro. They're like, what's going on with this guy? I don't know what he's saying, but I feel like he's doing something interesting. There's something going on. I got to know more.
Was it
You very
there's
tall.
A first grader.
No, keep going.
I was going to the supermarket after work on like a Friday, and I was getting a case of beer. And I was in the checkout line, and there's one of the first graders in my school is just right there. It's like, wow, Nick Sensei. I'm like, oh, great. Like, hello. And he's like, oh, osake, which is just like means alcohol. I'm like, yes, this is what you children do to me. And he's like in school telling everybody that he saw me in the market buying beer. I'm like, come on now, you don't need to do that.
I'm an adult. I can make my own decisions. All right, kid.
Yes. When you're a kid, alcohol is very, very bad for you. But as soon as you turn 21, it's very good for you.
You still have a car out there, right? How's the driving been going? And driving in Japan versus driving in America?
Oh, since I scraped the side the second day I had it, it's been going like really well.
So besides that, it's been
I think
fine.
I just needed to get that first accident out of the way.
Yeah, good. Get that out early.
I mean, the left side of the road thing.
No, go ahead.
The left side of the road thing, I got used to pretty quick. Like that was that like took like 2 days to actually just get used to just driving on the left side. But some of the roads here, man, are so, like they're big enough for a single car to pass through, but they're two-way. And sometimes the two-way has a bus. And so I've been like on the receiving end of a bus just barreling down this narrow alley, and you just got to like actually put your car in reverse and back up so you can move out of the way for this bus to come through. And I just feel like that's a bad design for a road.
Not the most ideal situation, definitely.
No, it's not. And I failed my driving test twice because I took my left turns too wide and then I took my right turn too wide. I'm like, God dang it.
It's okay, man. It took me 3 tries.
It's just
took me
a bit
3
of a
hard
racket here for
tries.
the foreigners because they can just absolutely screw you over. It's like, yeah, you failed for whatever arbitrary reason. Come back and pay another $25. Oh.
Hey, let's mess with this big white guy and make him have to take the test again. Take that, America.
Won't eat us. I'm like, I'll eat you.
Yeah, man.
So it's a Friday morning there in Japan. What do you got planned for the weekend?
Oh, actually, this is why I'm happy I got out of the hospital. It's Miyu's birthday on the 1st of March, so I'm surprising her with a hot spring hotel visit this Saturday.
Oh, man. I want to
That'll
go
be
to
good.
a hot spring. You're making me want to go to a hot spring, Nick.
Are you gonna be like
Man, hot springs are sick.
Are you gonna be like Kevin Costner in the Robin Hood movie? I don't know if you ever seen it, bro.
Yes, I've seen that movie. Oh boy, and yes, I will definitely be like that.
To the people that haven't seen it, there's a scene of Kevin Costner as Robin Hood, and he's like bathing himself under a waterfall naked. So if you can picture, that's gonna be Nick Eicher in Japan.
That should be me. What is that white guy doing?
That's our teacher.
Teacher, what are you doing? I don't know.
Yeah, man. Well, do you have anything else you'd like to share with the Northside Plug fans or your boys?
Any closing remarks? Let's see. Come to Japan, man. That's about all I got.
I would
it's
love
pretty
to-
cool
love
out
to.
here. They're really nice people. Very accommodating.
Northside Plug takes Japan, bro. That's gonna have to happen very soon when the world can allow for it.
Oh, dude. Show from Japan. Now we're talking.
Uh-huh.
Wow, that'd be unreal.
That'd be ridiculous.
That'd be amazing.
Alrighty, Nick.
I'll let you guys. I'll let you boys get back to your sports talk. I'll tune in while I'm making lunch.
Excellent. Well, it's been an honor talking to you, dude.
Yeah, we appreciate you calling in. It's great to hear your voice.
It's been real. Well, thanks for having me. Always will be a pleasure.
Always,
sir.
always. We appreciate you calling in. We'll talk soon, okay? Stay safe out there and
All right, yeah, you three
have a
take
great
it easy.
weekend.
Go Blurs.
And stay warm, all right?
We'll try.
We're trying. Well,
Peace out, brother.
take
I'll
care,
see
man.
you
Be
guys.
safe.
Yeah, we'll,
See ya.
wow, that was
Shout
a
out,
great
Nick.
surprise. That
Blast from the past.
That was great to talk to him. It's been a minute since I talked to him. Sometimes he'll randomly like it probably happened to you guys too. Like just on Snapchat, he'll randomly just like start FaceTime, and you're like, all right, let's talk, and then we'll like talk for just like whatever for a while. So
Yeah.
it's great to get him on the airwaves finally. It's been a long time coming for him to come on Northside Plugged.
No doubt.
His first time on Northside
Speaking
Plugged
of
is when
3
he's
years, exactly.
is
yeah.
when he's thousands of miles away with an ocean in between us.
Bro, I remember being at WGHC. He was there with. I don't know if you were there. I'm trying to remember. I remember being there with him for whatever reason. And did you go to the street fair?
I helped set up, but I didn't stay for the whole thing.
Okay. He may have been there later or something, but I remember Nick being there. I just remember what I had said earlier. I remember talking to him there. We were like in one of those back rooms, and we were talking about like maybe having Nick on for a segment, talking about like good nutrition and stuff like that. You know, unfortunately we couldn't. Circumstances didn't work out, but it's cool to have him a part of the show finally, because he's definitely a big part of the show, even if he hasn't been on the show. You know,
absolutely.
The spirit of it.
Yeah, the spirit of Northside Plugged is in Japan strong because of Nick Hiken. We can make sure he influences all those little Japanese children very well.
100%. Nick, you got to get them to watch Northside Plug if you're.
Yeah, if you want them to learn some real lingo and catch up on some NBA talk, then they should definitely turn into Northside Plugged.
Yep.
I think they learn a lot. Not just saying.
Just say Michael Jordan is going to be on Northside Plug, and they all going to tune in, bro. Mike, we need you.
Have your people call our people.
Have your people.
And by our people, we mean us. We're our people.
Mike, call us at 312-985-7834 every Thursday at 7 p.m. to 9:30ish. You know, we'll be here.
Well, boys, I have some exciting personal news that I figured I'd share.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to a live sporting event next week.
Ooh, where and when and how?
I am going to Arch Madness in
Nice.
St. Louis to watch your Loyola Ramblers try to win another Missouri Valley Conference title.
Yay!
Yeah, so luckily they emailed all the season ticket holders, and like we're gonna basically, it's like a kind of a there's like levels to it of like when we can kind of pick people, because they only have like a certain amount of tickets. Luckily my roommate Zach got picked and he bought 4, so
Shout out Zach.
the group of us that are season ticket holders are gonna go down there for the weekend. So I'm very excited to actually witness a live sporting event, and I'm so glad I get to see these Ramblers play basketball, because they're just playing so well that it'd be upsetting for me not to see them in person at least once.
Yeah. Shout out Zach. Hey man, Zach and Bobby, bro. I feel like those two dudes, bro, they get stuff done, man. They get stuff done, bro. You know, so I think that's really cool that y'all gonna get to experience that, because it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be very weird.
Yeah, I've never been to St. Louis, first off, so I'm kind of excited to see that in the Archway. And they're limiting like this. Obviously, they're limiting people. I think it's like 1,500 total people in the stadium, with like 100 of them being Loyola fans, and not necessarily they'll all be there at once, because I don't think as many people will be there for when they're not playing. But like we plan on watching every game, because the last sporting event we all went to, ironically, was a Loyola basketball game, like their last home game of last season. So it's funny that's been over a year, and the first event we're going to is another Loyola game. So it's gonna be. I'm excited to kind of just get down there and see, I would kiss a referee. That's how excited I'm gonna be to watch this sporting event.
Whoa!
I would kiss a referee. I just like the ability to be able to yell at a referee in person is gonna make me so happy. It's just gonna be awesome. I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to seeing this Blurs team in action, because they're still just a wagon of a team.
Hey, tune in to Arch Madness. Keep your TV extra loud, because it's easier to hear the fans and the players. You're gonna hear BossDan screaming.
Absolutely.
Screaming from the top of his lungs. What the?
I hope they find us on TV, because you're not going to be able to not miss us if it's the 4 of us, because we're not going to be the quiet bunch. I guarantee you that.
Bro, I remember at Loyola games, any Loyola game I ever went to, BossDan was always on that Jumbotron, bro. Every time I went. You were definitely on that Jumbotron.
It's hard to miss me in the crowd, honestly.
You guys had great seats, though, too. You had great seats.
True. We shouts out to Zach, who got them the year before we graduated. He started his first year as a season ticket holder was that Final Four run. And then after we graduated, me, Bob, and Patrick, when we moved in with Zach, we all wanted to get seats. So he got 4 seats, and we moved right behind the Loyola bench.
Yeah, that's dope.
So I'm looking forward to get back to Gentile. But first off, I'm very excited to go to Arch Madness and get out of the city for a little bit, see a new city, experience a new place, watch some live sports. It's gonna be a fantastic time. I'm very excited for it.
No, it's love, man. And hey, hopefully the Blurs get some W's.
I think they can. I think they can. I mean, they're the clear favorites right now. So
even if they don't, because they're ranked, they'll still.
Yeah. So luckily we're in a good position where as long as they have 2 games against Southern Illinois this weekend, which they should both win. So if they handle those and they lose in the conference tournament, they'll be in good enough shape because they're a ranked team. They will still get an at-large bid because they've been playing so well consistently throughout the year. So it's not like as nerve-wracking of like if we lose or like because like the hopes are that if we do get taken out, it's by Drake in the championship, and then Drake we can be officially a 2-bid league because that would be huge for the conference if we can get 2 teams in the tournament at once.
That'd be dope, yeah.
And like by some miracle, if we lost in the semifinals and then like Drake lost in the championship to say Indiana State because they're playing good basketball too, like if the 3-bid valley was a possibility, that would be insane. But it's very slim chances on that. But just like the ability to be comfortable that even if we lose down there, we're still going to be in the big dance is kind of is an interesting feeling because we've never. I mean, first time we're ranked since the 80s.
A long time.
So it's just an exciting time for Loyola basketball right now.
Yeah.
It's getting even better. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's surreal. It's surreal that we're ranked, man, and to have been ranked even when we went to the Final Four, like prior to that, would have been like, holy crap, like it's just insane, man. And it's kind of like, I feel like newer or in the newer generation of like Ramblers fans, man, don't take this for granted, dude, because this was a long time coming, and we got the tail end of the losing era of Loyola basketball, where it was just like those first couple of years was just like, this is not pleasant at all.
Yeah, some of those games had nobody.
Yeah.
I remember freshman year going to some games and I was one of 6 students in the fan section.
Yeah,
there were some games that just was nobody.
Nobody cared.
Nobody cared.
Nobody gave a crap.
But the culture has really changed. It's all about the culture. Yeah, the back-to-back men's volleyball national champions. Yeah, people forget. But yeah, I mean the culture's just completely flipped 180 since that like that season, like because like there was some momentum, like you could see like even I went to the earlier games and there were some people, but like by the end of the season when people were like, okay, this team is special, people started showing up. And like I think yesterday or 2 days ago was the anniversary of when they clinched their first Missouri Valley Conference title, which like that was like a sellout crowd, which was one of their first sellouts in a while. And then of course Arch Madness happened, and then they got to the Final Four, and that's everything just got like exploded at that point. But you could see that it was forming in those moments with the team that they had. It was just the perfect moment, and now like the team is, and now the culture is just keeps growing because people still recognize, they're like, oh wow, so that wasn't a one-time thing, like they're ranked now, they're legit. And it's a phenomenal time to be a Rambler basketball fan.
No, we came in at the right time, man, and I don't know, man, maybe it's God intertwining all of this, it's everything around us right now is kind of clicking in its own way, and slowly but surely, so just got to keep riding the waves and enjoying the process, enjoying the journey. It's a blessing.
It is. Such a blessing.
Do you have any other Ramblers points?
No, I won't be here next Thursday because I'll be driving down to St. Louis. So I'll probably call in during the show and give some thoughts, some last minute thoughts I have before the tournament starts. But they just got to play well this weekend, and then we'll talk about Arch Madness.
Excellent.
But I mean, the sky's the limit for this team.
Excellent. I'm excited, man. Well, in that case, I think I have something that I would like to share on Northside Plugged right now. Give me 1 second to grab it.
Please stand by as Money G Note grabs whatever he's grabbing. What is he grabbing? I don't know. Is that candy for the class?
Ooh, I love you have enough to share with everybody.
I love candy.
Okay.
All right, G, what do you got for us?
All right. So, do you mind turning down the music a little bit, bro? So, we're taking a somewhat serious, somewhat not serious, different approach here on Northside Plugged. So, music down a little bit more, man, just because this is a kind of serious. I want to be serious here right now. So, I haven't gone into too much detail. I mean, you guys know, but I haven't gone into too much detail of certain areas of my family situation. But basically, long story short, I have my older cousin who's 3 years older than me. His name is Alejandro, who's been in prison for the past 10 or so years, you know, and still going to be doing some time. I'm not going to get into the details. I don't want to do anything like that, but he sent me a letter, and it was a very heartfelt letter from where he's located, and within that letter he sent me a poem, and he asked me to share it he's not, you know, obviously being in prison, he's only gets bits and slivers and pieces of
the outside world,
myself and family and whatnot, you know. So he kind of knows that this is going on, and I wrote him a letter recently that's explaining more and everything, you know. But it was, for him, it was a big step to even ask if like for me it's nothing. It's like I'm ready to do this right now type of thing, you know. But for him it was a big step to even ask like, yo, would you be willing to share this, you know? And within the letter he was like, this is a piece of my soul, you know, and this is something that I feel like I have to share because this is my brother, and I just, you know, I love him and I miss him to death, and you know, this is the way that I can keep, and this is what he asked me to do, you know. This is how I can keep him out here, you know. His memory, he's doing all right, you know. But so with that being said, his poem is called Maiden Call, and I'll show it to the people if y'all can see. This is his personal handwriting, and I've read it already and I really enjoy it, but I wanted to share it with you guys. So here we go. The poem is called Maiden Call by the Master Dragon, as he goes by. It goes, young Draco seeking queen, complex achievement to a wildest dream. Sending a soul echo, hoping to find a heart of compassion, a brain with a mind. Me, I'm a rare gem to behold. Devilish smile with soft eyes, so I'm told. Creative talent with artistic flair. A voice so profound it makes others stare. Admittingly, some say I'm quite mad. Also, that peace and joy with me are well had. I'm funny, I'm witty, I speak with an ease. I'll quote any movie or song as you please. Siblings, of course, I have some of those. 2 sisters, a brother with all of his toes. I'm the eldest and most cool of all of the lot. And when I say cool, I mean smoking hot. When it comes down to music, I get down to the rock. While years of love and pop songs help my heart to unlock. With movies, I'm less about action, more about plot. I want my head to explode, my heart to be shot. With the right mixture, I'll admit that there are tears. I have little complex, been happening for years. Have a soft spot for cartooned animations. I find that they help in my contemplations. Writing and drawing, I excel at the arts. Make a statement, change a life, reach all their hearts. There is no try, my best I will do. Movies help my philosophies too. I dream of a family like the one that I had. I've been trained in patience. I'd make a good dad. I'm trying to be like my dad, a great hero. I want plenty of kids, but my number's at 0. My spirit is strong, devout like no other. I pray every day, give alms to the mother. Not holier than, but I do need to say, you have to be open of mind in some way. Some might say I'm a nerd, I suppose. With anime and manga, my garden grows. Love has its many curves and its edges. For those who can love the perfect imperfections. I could be romantic and cheesy as true. Always preparing for the day that I meet you. I'm waiting for you. Alejandro Dragon.
Wow, that was great. Wow.
Thank you, man.
It's powerful. It's amazing what goes on inside those prison systems and how people like Alejandro try to stay try to keep their mind strong, because I
Yeah.
feel like that's a lot. That seems to be a lot of the times what affects people the most is they aren't able to keep their sanity.
Mhm.
But the way he tells that, that was great. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate you sharing that.
No.
That's amazing.
No, I appreciate you guys giving the spot, and the patience for it, because it's a lot, man, and it's being a younger brother in this aspect, and having somebody so close and dear to you, just kind of ripped out of your life, man. It's a lot, bro, and just having this in my hand, just reading it, the part where he mentions his dad, who was my grandfather, because he was adopted, basically. So my grandfather is technically not his biological, but he is basically his dad, raised. So it's a lot, man, and I'm just honored to be able to again, going back to reminiscing, having this platform where, he asked specifically, like, I want this piece to be out in the world. That's what he said. It's like, if I can't physically be out in the world, I at least want this piece to be out here. So I felt like I have to do this. It's my duty to share this with the people and to make him a part of this, man, because he is. And that it goes back to what we were saying earlier, whether, your family, Justin's family, my family, anybody that consumes this, whatever, like anybody that, I don't know, man, we're all a part of Northside Plug, whether we're here or not. And I just want to shout out Alejandro,
Yeah, shouts out Alejandro and all those that are stuck in the prison system.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That was great. That was a good way to kind of wrap things up, I think. It brought it to a real serious note after the conversation we had with Nick Eicher. Kind of, it's a good way to end and kind of leaves you with some thoughts. Yeah, my mind's going all over the place now, just thinking about what Alejandro wrote down there.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a lot within one poem, you know. And I'm gonna try to I'll probably post that segment on my social media, just because I want to, for him, just continue to push his words, because I mean, the man is so smart, dude. I can't stress how smart this guy is, bro. And he's been in there since he's been 17, so he's literally grown up his adult life at this point in that system, man, But at the end of the day, it's just like, it's the ultimate test of loyalty, bro. And who's, when it comes down to it, and when he does eventually get out, it's like, who's going to be there for him, And it's going to be obviously the family, and but that's just one person, you got a whole system out here of people, whether rightfully or wrongfully, are put into the prison/jail system or whatever. Once you come out of that, it's a totally different world. It's a totally different realm, and it's just kind of like with veterans, it's just like there's a big hole out here, and just a lot of people that are once they're out of that system, don't know how to, it's hard to adjust.
Go back into normal society. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's good to know that he's going to be entering into like a support system of love and acceptance and growth. A lot of people come out of those systems afraid because they don't know what's going to happen. Where it's like you got a guy who has an end goal. You know what I mean? He has a light at the end of the tunnel, and the more that you can shine that light his way, that's a really awesome thing that you can give him.
Yeah. No, I thank you, man.
And I'm sure he appreciates it just as much, man.
Yeah, 100%, dude. So I feel like just what I can share from the total experience that I've had with that aspect of my life, dude, is just really appreciate every moment that you have with the people that you love, because you just never know when that last time is that you're gonna see them,
Absolutely.
You never know.
I think we learn that more and more as we get older, because we start to see those people, those that were older than us, start to get old, and you kind of realize you took all those moments for granted. But as we do get older, you want to take each moment as you can and appreciate all the time you do have with those people.
No doubt.
For sure.
No doubt. Well, I think with that being said, to all of our loyal listeners that are still listening, I want to thank you for tuning in to Northside Plugged, enjoying our show, consuming our show.
Thank you all for tuning in always. We appreciate you all so much.
really appreciate for you guys sticking around and listening to that poem. So that means a lot to myself. That means a lot to my family. You guys are the real ones, the real MVPs. After 3 years, it's been a crazy ride. We're excited to continue this ride. It's a super blessing. Never take any of this for granted, and just excited to keep growing, man. You know,
Just gonna keep growing. I'm very excited for the future of this program, for sure.
100%.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in again. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment. Feel free to shoot us a DM. Like we said, we're gonna be playing music before we start talking at 7. If we get in here at 7 o'clock, we're gonna be playing music from 7 to 7:30 on YouTube.
Smash that subscribe button, guys. It's
Smash
free.
it.
Yeah,
It's
smash
free.
subscribe.
It's completely
If
free.
you want us to play your music or be featured, please let us know. You know our handles. You know the Northside Plugged handle. Hit us up on any of those if you want music to be featured, and we can make sure to get you in. And we'll start sharing the playlist that we play before shows for all those songs that are on streaming services. So once again, thank you all for tuning in. We love you guys so much, and I hope you all have a phenomenal weekend. And enjoy the nice weather because it's actually above 40 degrees.
We're speaking as Illinoisans.
The meltdown is coming, people.
It is summer in Chicago.
Save snow people,
baby.
2021.
Okay. Well.
Save the snow people.
Save the snow people.
They're melting. They're gone.
They're
Their
melting. Save
families
the snow
are in jeopardy
people.
right now.
Goodbye, everybody.
Save the people. Save them.
Shout out Gail, man.